Hello everybody, Sunday Adelaja here. Welcome everyone. I hope we're on Facebook. I want to be sure that we are on because today we are having a special program, and this program is dedicated to my colleague and friend that has always been the host of this program, that has always been coming to read your greetings and to say dear DSA. So this today might be the last program that I'm hosting together with him. So that's why we are doing this program. And we're supposed to be talking on another topic, but we turned the table and I decided to dedicate and devote this whole program to the person of BAMISAYE Victor. BAMISAYE Victor has been a member of the team for a few years now, and he has been a huge blessing, not just to myself, but I'm sure to all of you as well. So to all those people that know BAMISAYE Victor, will you please go share this message and the video and the link to your friends and well-wishers. I hope he still has well-wishers after campaigning for Buhari. The well-wishers could have been hate campaigners, and they would have been converted to harsh enemies. But I hope that in the spirit of brotherliness and in the spirit of Christ and Christianity and Christianhood and Christian fraternity, that those people will use this opportunity to reconcile, to forgive his choice of political candidate, and to come back and say well wishes and farewell to the very brilliant political analyst in our studio here, BAMISAYE Victor. Well, politics is his passion, and Nigeria is his destination, and destiny also calling. So it's not by accident that he has been very passionate about his campaign for political change in Nigeria. Now, funny enough, it's like his own view often correlate with mine without even us agreeing about it. But when we disagree, we also disagree. We are not shy to argue about it as well. But I would like you to know more about BAMISAYE Victor today, because we'll give him the opportunity to tell us his journey. How did he even get to hear about Ukraine? How did he come to be this personality that you all like and enjoy to follow and listen to? And but first of all, I would like to congratulate him on his completion, not just of medical school. He had completed that before, but of his postgraduate in medical school that he does, postgraduate degree that he just finished now. And so let's welcome the hero of the day, BAMISAYE Victor.
Always a pleasure.
Now I'm the one interviewing. Yes. Now you are the hero of the day. Oh. And I'm the one taking the interview from you. So how is your journey? And can you imagine that you are leaving Ukraine? That is almost like unimaginable. I'm sure you have it in your mind somewhere beside or behind your mind that you will leave one day. Yeah. But you know, one day is one day. But when that one day is already concrete, like tomorrow, it's totally different.
Yeah, you know, of course, we all start every journey of life with the expectation to end. But sometimes days go slow, other days it goes very fast. And it's so funny that the days you want to run fast are sometimes the ones that run slow. And the ones you want to, can we slow down now? It's the one going very, very fast. But the beauty of it is that there's time for everything, and it's a blessing that the time came, and I am still here. And I think that is the most beautiful thing, that the time came and I am still very much alive, and only God can take glory for that. Has the journey been easy? No, it has not, but we are still here, and I think that's the biggest hope, that's the biggest ingredient for hope. That as long as life is, as long as one yet exists, then he has every opportunity to make the best of his life, to create what his future would be, to engineer his own destiny, to make of himself what he potentially could have been and what he eventually would become. And I think, yeah, for everything that is what, your book and the title, Life is an Opportunity, remains valid. So the date is here, fast approaching. It was about 9 years ago now when I came here. And and the date is here, and we have to go, and somehow another phase of life has to open. Scary it may be, but of course it must be. But like I said, the biggest gift is that while the time came, life yet still exists in me.
How does that sound when you yourself saw this title today, saying farewell and goodbye to BAMISAYE Victor? What was the feeling?
No, the first thing was I thought the topic was going to be police. In fact, I was going to add a few things to it because of the recent happenings in Nigeria. That okay, I think it will be interesting to talk in line. So, and the person who is coordinating the program at the backstage now sent me the title as who did this? This can only be DSA's work. You know, so she didn't say it's this. She said maybe. I said okay. So when I now saw the banner, and of course I was thinking of okay, what could be the direction in which the talk would go, and my own fear, or it was not a fear, but I was thinking about how vulnerable I've indeed become over the last 2 years. And so seeing that again and seeing how quickly we get to eschatology and the emotions that come with that. And I was trying to project in my mind the moment we have right here. And I felt a bit emotional about that. And I was telling Anu that I think I just realized over the past year that I am a more emotional person. And he was telling me that probably it's more of maturity and being mature enough to be vulnerable. So for me, I see that and I say, okay, time has really gone fast. And to look back and say, okay, thank God for the products we've been able to make of it and the things we've been able to do in that time. And yeah, it was quite emotional at that moment to think about, because you know, it was just in the space of a minute you think about past and you are projecting to what now can be and what my story indeed could mean to somebody else. So it was emotional within that moment of seeing the poster.
When you left Nigeria, there was nothing like Facebook.
No, there was, but not as popular as this.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you were not having a Facebook page when you
No,
left
I
Nigeria.
did, but not as, it was still low-key anyway.
So, but you know, the world has changed.
Yeah, the world has indeed changed.
Since you left Nigeria.
Yes, the world has indeed
changed. When you left Nigeria 9 years ago, there was no possibility that we have doing live broadcast
no,
like this.
There was no live broadcast.
On Facebook.
No live broadcast.
All over the world.
No.
So did you even imagine that, because probably what you were thinking was that you were just going to school?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts when you left Nigeria to come to Ukraine, and compared to now you saying bye-bye, not to your colleagues in the classroom alone, but to the rest of the world? People are watching us right now from at least maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 countries, you know, where your name is already established. And I think not just for today, that is just for today, but in reality, over 100 countries where they have already watched you. Yeah. So you that left Nigeria and you that is living here, let's hear your voice.
No,
your thoughts.
There's a whole lot of difference. You know, I came here as a boy. At best, no, in fact, it was as a boy. I came here, I was barely 19 when I came.
A teenager.
Yeah, I came as a teenager. And I'm living now as a man. So I want to believe I am. And so there's been a lot of changes over the years. I was in a medical school in Nigeria when I left. I left that school to come to Ukraine. So, of course, there were certain traits I knew I had, but for many of them coming to Ukraine, I thought they would be under suppression. I thought the political part of me will not even be what I'm thinking about.
Because it's a different country.
It was a different country, and I was thinking just study medicine and then go back and do medicine. And from medicine, you can go anywhere from there. You know, as of that time, I still had my mom alive, so things were from the perspective of having at least someone you can call family. And so my thoughts were literally medical Nigeria centric, more like in the sense of the rat race. Of course, it would be said that there were instincts that showed me I was going to be different, but really the race that I still had in front of me was that of the medical career, in that Uncle Sam
to come back
sense
home and work.
Yeah. So, you know, in that Uncle Sam sense, not so much of making a difference in terms of making a mark and in tandem with my personality. My personality was not really at the forefront. That's not to say there were no instinctive feeling of difference. Of course, those are primitive, but they were never developed. So came here, started med school, and it was after 6 months that I came to Ukraine that I did take the decision to develop myself personally. So I think that was in September 2011. I can't forget that I made the decision to develop myself personally. And that was when the changes started and I started building something. But of course, the market of all of those were, and I say this not because you are sitting here, but it is the truth of my life, and I believe any other person who is sincere and has the same feeling can also share it. Markedly, the biggest change in perspective I've had and that has really revolutionized me has been coming in contact. Let me not even say you now, because I've come in contact with you. Let me use the word coming in contact with your materials. I think that is the best word to use. So I don't sound too, of course, one must say what it is. Coming in contact with you has had effect, but let me even give the glory now to your materials. And, you know, working on me, of course, instinctively and somewhere basally, you know, on the basal level, one would think that, okay, every act you want to do is towards service. But that altruism wasn't the main capture of everything. What do I mean? I'll give you an instance. Before I met you, I've always been saying I want to contest for president. But by the time I met you and I met your material, Nigeria and the leadership question.
This particular book.
Yeah, oh, good. The book is even there. So, Nigeria and the leadership question. So, by the time I studied that book, my perspective changed from office in that sense of wanting to be president.
Positional leadership.
Yeah, you know, this is the idea, DSA. I had always, while developing myself, I had known the difference between position and leadership. But that was still somewhat abstract.
No, because that is what is mainly known in our place.
No, they know position, they don't know leadership.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I had even known leadership before I met you. But what I'm saying, it was somewhat abstract.
Yeah, you know what we have is
what I didn't know was personal responsibility.
But even the ones who know leadership in our place, it's always positional leadership.
Yeah, positional leadership.
Bringing about leadership through a position.
Position, yes. Yeah, but meeting you brought in about that personal responsibility, altruism for service, real service. That even if position is taken away from you, you still have the full desire to serve and understand in the full meaning. So, yes, what I told Anu, I think about 2 years ago, even before we came this close to you, I said the thing about DSA is that some of the things he says are not things probably you are even hearing for the first time. Two things happen. They come alive, even if you've heard them before. The second thing is that there are some of those things that you knew, but there were no way you could explain it. And you know, if you cannot explain something, you've not said you've understood it. Yeah, you cannot say you've understood it. But when DSA explains such things, terminology for those things come out. And then you can now say, okay, with this thing I've understood, I can explain it better, even if using my own words. So they come alive in you as a person, or they came alive in me as a person, even the things I used to know. And then for many of them, I found the terminology for them. And I think that is where the place of a real mentor is in life. Because a mentor may not necessarily be the one to come into you and inspire the new thoughts, but at least when you have a mentor, it gives you direction. So you're able to give term to things that may be even scattered in you already. So okay, these things, the knowledge is there. Okay, you've read 55 books. Okay, you've read 1,000 books, and the knowledge is scattered that way. But because you have a mentor who has probably gone through that pace, or who knows exactly what he's talking about. So by the time you watch him, or you listen to him, or you see what he's doing and you hear what he says, you can now call all of your thoughts together and then anchor it on a terminology. And I think those are the best things that has happened to me. So to bring it back, I came to Ukraine as a young boy with just the career in mind. I grew within my own space to the understanding of personal development, but as of the time I came in contact with your materials, just to take away the person just a bit, because of course there's no material without the person. They have revolutionized my own concept, not just of the goals I want to attain, but of self. And I think that's the most important thing, to be able to give definition to self in a way that goes again outside of self. I hope I'm not sounding too philosophical, but that's exactly what it is for me. For instance, and I think I've shared this many times than possible. How can I talk about reading the book or working on the book, Who Will Come to Your Funeral? If there's nothing again, in fact, God forbid, if I suffer dementia today, right now, one thing I can never forget is who will attend my funeral. That motivation can never leave me.
Do you have the book there?
So,
who will attend your funeral?
You can imagine that what was the difference between the me before the book and the me after the book. I'll give you one DSA. I set up a foundation now called the BAMISAYE Victor Foundation, but the flagship project that we started with that foundation is called the Project 30 Before 30. There we sponsor kids to school. Of course, with the help of a lot of people now who have joined to support us. But that project, I would not have started it in 2017 when I did. Even now, I would not have started it. That was the May before. The May before would have waited till I'm comfortable, till I can afford 3 square meals, till I have an idea of where my life is going in the full picture, at least to have taken the first step. I would have even finished, I would have started working, I would know there's a stable source of income. I would have waited for that comfort. I would have waited to do it in my convenience. But the me after that book says tomorrow is not promised.
Most people are like that.
Yeah. No, even the people who are like that are even the people who we think are awake. Because most people don't care about anything apart from themselves. Most people are egoistical. When I was searching for a career, I was thinking just about me. How can I make my life different? It was about me. When I started working on self-development, of course, I was thinking of other people, but at my convenience, at my utmost convenience. But for instance, now, moving towards that growth, and like I said, I've worked on so many of your materials that have not been released.
Most people say, when I become rich, I will be able to help other people.
Yeah, that's what those who are even really awake, who we consider awake within at least the Nigerian society, do. So that was the state I was before.
Most people will not think like that.
No. Most people think of themselves and survival.
Their family members.
Yeah, just survival. And I challenged this in my last book, Rebirth. And I was challenging parents particularly. The only reason why we invest so much in our children is because we want to leave a world better for them than the
Rather
one we
than
live
for
in.
the world.
No, we want them to live in a better world. That's why we are investing in them, so that they can contribute to their world. But what we often forget is that the children we bypass on the road are going to be a part of that future we want to live. So if we had known that, would we not, with that perspective, invest even in children that are not ours? Would we not invest in those children we see on the roundabouts during school hours?
I would have reconstructed that statement differently.
Yes, yes.
I think the parents are not trying to invest in their children so that they will live in a better world.
Okay.
I think most parents are investing in their children so that their children will live, so that their children will live a better life than them.
Okay.
But live a better life.
Not a better world.
That's what I'm saying. Because if they had thought about the world, they would not neglect those same children. Most people don't think about the world.
Yes. Yes. You're very right. And this point, sir, is one of my grouses, and I'm sorry to bring that into it, but probably just to drive my point home a bit more. It's one of my grouses with Bishop Oyedepo.
Okay.
Yeah, because when Bishop Oyedepo, when the Boko Haram crisis, the herdsmen crisis started, and he was cursing out those people and their generation to come. So in my own thinking.
No, but why should he single out Bishop Oyedepo? I had Paul
Enenchetu, right?
Enenchetu the same
yeah,
thing.
but personally, I think that was the time when it was his own I really got to analyze then. And so my anger then was, is this guy thinking for any moment that if his curse was to come into effect, that his own children will be free from the menace that the cost will be serving out?
No, you are trying to say that his curse,
if it will even work at all.
Yeah, but that if it works, that means that his curse will have succeeded in multiplying the same evil that he's trying to use the curse to stop.
Exactly.
So making the world a worse place. Not just for those people's children, but for his
own children.
Because they are going to live in the same world.
Yeah, so he thinks now that he is blessing his own children, but cursing the other children. So his children will enjoy the world while those ones cursed will follow them. But not forgetting that the people who are cursed are not only a menace to themselves, but to the people who are in the society that they live in. And so when God's admonishes us to bless people, what he was trying
to do is to stop the menace, is to stop the evil.
Yes.
But he's actually succeeding
in increasing it. And that's just on the place of curses and prayer. But that's the same thing we do when we overlook people on the street. That's the same thing we do with indifference. So
always, like you said, investing only in our own.
Only in our own. That's the same thing. That's the same end result. Yes. So just imagine, for instance, if there are out of 10 people, if only three can afford to sponsor their child. Imagine what would happen if those three could even if it's not private school, just public, let them just even have basic education.
That's what you are doing.
Yeah, just basic education. Imagine if those three can sponsor another three.
You've been able to sponsor over 30 children.
No, we've been able to touch close to 150.
150?
150.
Children?
Touched, yes.
In 2 years?
Yes. This year particularly...
impacted 150 children?
Yes. This year we paid for... because there are some of them, after you pay first year, you don't have to pay
in 2 years, 150 children. No, even if it is one time, you have impacted them.
Yes. And in fact, this one I'm going back, we are going to work on some system that will make it easier. And the beautiful thing again is that many states are declaring free education right now. So it's going to make our work a lot easier to enroll as many people as possible. So I'm just imagining that broke me, who doesn't even really have much. It's not like I'm working to get salary somewhere. And but just by taking action as of the time I did, and I could reach these people. I'm imagining the millionaires, the billionaires out there, even the thousandaires, even the person who has 5,000 naira that is not using at a particular time. I'm just imagining. So the difference between me and the 2 years before I contacted those your material is number one, the guy who just has dreams for the future, and two, the guy who has woken up and taken the dreams to say, okay, I am the one who is responsible for creating the future I want to live in, and the time to be responsible and time to take action is now. So that's one of the difference between the me who came and the me now. So like I've shown you, they are in 3 phases. The me who coming, the time I decided to say, okay, I have to start working on myself particularly. And of course, the beautiful thing is that when I started working on myself, a lot of people were misunderstanding me. A whole lot of people were, because I could not function at their level. I remember when my mom was alive, and this was 2013. 2013 to now is 6 years DSA. Can you imagine what I told my mom in 2013? And it will sound boastful, but I am just imagining how much it is now. And I was telling my mom then that I'm 5 years ahead of my mates. I was still in 3rd year then in 2013, or 2nd year. And if I could make such a statement then,
I'm sure you saw it. You saw the evidence.
Yeah, it was. I know
it was obvious.
A third person would be the best. I probably know able to say different. When I was in first year DSA, after I decided to really take challenge of working on myself. When I speak, people who were in 6th year, they were listening. So, and I'm looking back now and I realize I didn't even know anything then.
But when you speak now, it doesn't matter what year, either they're 60 or 70 or 80, they are the ones listening.
Yeah, probably. So I believe that has been the difference.
But let me tell you, no, there is also a difference though, because even 2 years ago when I met you, even up to last year, you are saying people, are antagonistic about you and more about your person, even that I have noticed. Before, even up to like last year, 2 years ago before, you are always, you are less diplomatic with your approach. And you are always more concerned about winning an argument.
Yeah.
Rather than losing other laws, like benefit of a doubt or honoring other people by hearing them out, or by by allowing people to even make a mistake or to fail.
Even just to listen.
Or even just to listen. But these days, that is a big difference. I cannot even now you are listening. That is emotional intelligence. That means that you've been able to work on your emotional intelligence and able to overcome yourself. And, that is humility. That is being meek. And the ability, because the real power is the ability to be able to hold back power. Same as intellectual power. It is not the man that knows and is pushing his ideas, but if he's really having the intellectual prowess, he will know that to be able to hold it back and listen to another man, that is the power of that intelligence. Same with physical power. The one that just wants to go and beat everybody is not strong. It's very weak. But you have been able to make that transition emotionally and be able to listen and be able to consider and be able to give other people. So that's what personally I have observed over the last few years, because it will make you a much more better person to even approach, and a much more effective person, in getting many more people to actually listen rather than to argue with you or to fight you or to I don't know if you noticed that yourself.
No, particularly I think it was after I came back from Nigeria and we're strolling in the park.
Okay.
That was when you really made that point to eat home. So since then I've really
Did you go back? Did you wash back? Did you step back and try to notice it or what?
Yes, I'll tell you something right now. That and I'm saying this now because it would have sounded preemptive. It sounds preemptive because after the show, I was even going to still have a meeting with you to tell, so you can identify some of my faulty areas so that I should work on, because that was really helpful. So once you mentioned that, of course, I needed to check it. And so in checking that, I had to put myself in the shoe of the other person who, even though I have a point, even though I could be wrong, I still want to be right.
Or you could be right.
Yeah, I still want to be right.
If you were the other guy.
If I was the other guy.
Okay.
So what you said to me, because you didn't talk to me there, it was when we were together much later that you mentioned that. So I really began to consider that and said, okay, even no matter the point I would have, I should learn to, even though it's itching me like this to speak, I should still learn to listen first to what the person has to say. And I'm trying, I've not even achieved it yet, but I'm trying even the more to just, first of all, listen, not to respond, not to react rather, but listen to what he has to say, then respond much later. So those are practical things, for instance, that meeting you has helped me. And I'll say this for free, that gap and so many much more for me are there because of the absence of a father figure. I became a father to myself at 15. So, of course, there are many things that I started learning from you in 2 years ago that were practically not a part of my personality, or so to say, that, you know,
you
when
didn't have opportunity to see.
Yeah, you know, when you have something flowing, like a flowing water that had no guard, yeah, something to keep in check. So for me, I really didn't have that. I was responsible for myself. I've tried my best to be that guard, but of course, to now have someone you can look up to who not only has the result, but cares to that extent to say, I'm going to help you become even stronger in your personality, not just in the things you want to do, but I care a lot about you your core. So it helps, it really helps. And I think in the last 2 years, I think that's one of the biggest thing that has happened. Of course, there's another person who I may mention later. I don't know if it's the right time to talk about her, but her coming into my life too was also very transformative. But it was the sense I'm talking about. I saw the power of parental presence for me as a person. So, for instance, that argument stuff, a lot of people, it could have pissed off a lot of people before, but they, no, even those who will tell me with an annoyed feeling, and I may not really see the sense in it because it will be all day to throw in the emotion back at me. Yes. But to have someone say, sit down.
Who cares about?
Yeah. This, and this. Listen to people, give them benefit of doubt. Your argument is great, no problem. Yes, you were right, no problem. But in listening, in talking to people, you know, this is how things are done. I think those really matter a lot. So for me, I saw practical parenting, and coming from the professional psychiatry angle, because I also tried to analyze myself. I think we're still talking with Andrew about that. So I'm also able to see the difference between really what it means to have a father figure present and not to have one. And I think
and the other person you are talking about is a lady.
Yeah, a lady.
So it's not just father figure, maybe mother figure too.
Yeah, mother figure too, yeah. You know, I think there was a time last year I was telling you that since my mom died, I've never really heard anybody tell me I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can understand what that feminine cover also means. And looking back, I never even realized how much I was broken, because I've always...
And how much you needed,
yeah,
you are in need of.
Yeah, I was really broken, but because I had this defensive cover, I tried to prove to myself that I can stand
on my own.
I can stand the storm. I can. So most of the things were really defense mechanisms. So, but having
that is what that's what the mother brings.
Yeah. So now I can take a step back from myself and say,
because
okay,
of that
love
covering.
Yeah, that is protecting me. So I could easily now drop those defense mechanism and then start growing as a person. So I was telling you, I think I've become more empathetic. I've become more vulnerable.
But that vulnerability, what you call vulnerability, actually gives you inner peace.
Yes.
Before you are always battle ready.
Battle ready.
Yeah, but it's like you are having peace with yourself.
I can now calm down, and it's not always. It's now for me. It's not
which
about
is not stressing
defense.
you from inside.
I'll tell,
and which also lengthens days, long life.
As of January 2018, my blood pressure was reading 150, 140.
Unbelievable. Like an old person.
Like an old person. Even the doctors were marveled. How old are you?
No, because you are combative.
Combative, both psychologically and also emotionally, yeah, and also physically trying to make up for what the presence of
what you wanted to do for yourself.
Yeah.
What other people are supposed to do for you.
Would have done for me, and now I'm trying to do for myself on every level. Physically, even spiritually.
By yourself.
By myself. So, but in the last 2 years, coming to trust and to really allow myself to be loved, to really allow myself to be parented, has made me drop some of the defenses and probably
because
grow at the pace that I really should.
But also it takes a lot of self-criticism and self-analysis to accept that. Because sometimes to accept help for people like you who are self-made, because you are describing the disease of self-made people. So, but for them, most of the time, they see that as weakness on themselves, on their part.
In fact,
even to accept.
Yes, that's still one of the biggest problems for me, even till date. Yes, I've dramatically become better, but that also comes with trust. For me now to open my mouth to say I need or I want,
or I'm weak,
or no, those are things you will not hear from me. But of course, I've become better, but yeah, you're very right, DSA. Those are
because you will it's almost like it's a weakness.
Yes, like a weakness, because the world in itself is trying everything to make me weak, and I'm trying to prove to the world that I'm going to be this, I'm going to be strong. So there's no letting up, no letting down. I can't show any sign of weakness, and now asking to say help me is a sign that okay, I am not adequate in this field. So instead of saying that, I would rather go the extra mile to get what I need done without asking anybody.
That's putting much more pressure on
pressure.
So
yeah, that's exactly what it was.
But that's very interesting, and even for you to be able to discuss it, that also shows a lot of healing. But there are a lot of people who are finishing from here, who came here to this country too.
Yeah.
And you said you had always talking, you have just been focusing more on the last 2 years after we met and the changes that have been happening in your life these past 2 years. What would have happened to you if you have been like a lot of them? And what will you have to even, how will you assess, either is it weakness or foolishness or ignorance of people who come to this place and they never took advantage of the opportunity to even relate or to even read books or to even hear messages or to even come close like you have done it, because you are talking as if those last 2 years are even more significant than the others. Yeah, so what about people can you just imagine yourself, let's start with you, that you have come like that and you have just been like other people, you not come here, you will not do anything, you just came, finish and went back home.
First of all, I don't think I would ever have been like them. But
because you are more curious.
Yes.
For knowledge.
Yes, I had always been. The difference the last 2 years made is the potentiation and really the
so
development.
You couldn't be like them.
It was impossible for.
Because you would go
I had always been different.
Go for knowledge.
Yes, I had always been different.
So there was no way you could come here empty like that and go back empty.
It's impossible.
But when you go with your diploma,
it was impossible for me.
So you will not be satisfied with just that diploma.
No, it has. In fact, in second year,
because some people say that is what I came for.
In second year, and like I'm saying, the best decision I made was in my first year to say I must go for self-development. And I had the gift of staying in an hostel where they were only medical students. So it's not like maybe people were reading different courses. It was only medical students. So everybody was a potential doctor. And I saw how everyone was living. It just could not be my life. And I always used to say then, even from my second year, that what makes us equal does not make us special. So that all of us are doctors, very good, but that couldn't necessarily be what
you cannot
I'm
be
cut out
exceptional
for.
where everybody
But,
is different.
Yeah,
where everybody
it's
is
the same. So, but what do I see in my colleagues, many of whom have come and gone, the situation is like that of a blind cat in a dark room. Sorry. Of a blind man in a dark room looking for a black cat that is not there.
Totally hopeless.
So he's blind, he's in a dark room, he's looking for a black cat in a dark room, and the cat is not even there. So what does that mean? It means they are chasing really shadows. And what happens is they get to the end of their life, or probably to the middle of it. That's why people really suffer midlife crisis. Because they've gotten to the end of the strength of their youth, then they now realize that life is gone and they didn't even really live it. So
no, but what the instruction most of them got from home is that face your study.
Yes.
Find a church and go to church.
Yes.
Those are just the two.
So they do that, but they don't still live. So it's after years have gone by and they now have children, and somehow they see their children living differently from them because of the societal change that has taken place. They now start getting
just try
jealous.
to imagine them or other people who have been in Ukraine for 6 years.
Yeah.
And don't have any of this knowledge.
No,
They just, you know them now.
Yes. All they do is the career, sir. That's all they like.
What?
They have. It's career and money. That's just the two things they still chase. They are still the same set of people who these pastors brainwash. So when you see a professor who's still being brainwashed by a pastor, this is why. So all he has focused on is career and money. When you see a medical doctor who is still running errands for an illiterate pastor, this is exactly why.
No,
so people
but
will say, boy, it's a doctor, now you should...
But the medical doctor who is sitting in the congregation while the pastor is putting leg in the stomach of the pregnant woman.
This exactly the reason why.
And he's saying,
yes,
amen,
Papa, right
amen,
on, Papa.
yeah.
Yes, this is exactly the reason why.
Or the one
Because
that
they have
knows
no
that
call.
is helping the pastor to arrange,
Fake miracles.
and give certificate. I'm a medical doctor.
Yeah. That's the reason why. Because all they have to them, all that
No,
is
but
their-
those are the majority.
Yeah,
I mean, look at your people. You've gone to two or three schools.
Yeah.
And you know thousands of them. You've seen them.
Yes, I see them everywhere. And that's why when I see, even for people who have studied up to PhD level, a lot of people expect so much of intelligence from them. I don't. So when I see a professor, I can respect him in the field of his academics or his area of interest too. But to expect intelligence, I don't. Because you'll just be disappointed. At the end of the day, these are people whose greatest beautification is their title and their academic exploit, but not their personality. So they are like what you call neurosis.
So you are sure that couldn't have happened?
Necrotic. Yeah, necrotic. So they are dying on the inside, but peripherally they are...
But that is so daring of you. You knew you are so different.
Yeah.
You knew it couldn't happen to you.
It could not. If you remember when
if something genuinely is happening somewhere, you'll be a part of it.
Yes, maybe not to the great level that I now know and have.
Okay.
But I would never have been mediocre. I would never. And because why I'm saying that is because
other people are thinking, maybe they are thinking that it will be distraction. I want to face my studies.
No problem. Face your studies, but how many of them are great? Even in that. How many inventions are we having out of Nigeria? How many novel ideas are really coming out? Because, if you say, I want to face my studies, and that's all you want to face, what's the excellence you are producing from it? At least let us recognize you by that excellence. It may be possible that everybody cannot.
Okay, I know what they are thinking right now. People who are watching us or who will watch us in the future, they will just say you are lucky.
Lucky?
To have come across Pastor Sunday, Dr. Sunday, maybe you are just lucky, maybe somebody sent you to him, maybe you are just lucky. So because you are lucky like that, why should you condemn us? You know, we didn't have the opportunity.
No. Lucky would take away the hard work that I've put in. The fact that meeting you was not an accident. It was because I was traveling on a path and I had something that I was chasing. And by the time I met you, I realized I could recognize it was like preparedness. Preparedness is the opportunity, is the door that opportunity knocks on. So because I was on a path, that was where, you know, I know a guy, and I'm not saying this to insult him, probably you watch this someday, who came to you to Kivia only to snap picture with you. Maybe you remember that.
What are you talking about? One guy.
Okay, at least me, I know that one because he was calling me so he could meet you. And when he came,
and you helped him
arrange meeting you. And we went to snap picture. And a snap picture. And another 20 minutes he was gone. The next thing I saw was on Facebook.
But I was even
asking, where's this guy now? I said,
because you are the one who told me that this guy is really anxious. He's really
because he had been pushing for months that he would like to meet you, you know. And he came and he took picture. And the next thing I saw on Facebook, awesome time with Dr. Sunday Adelaja. And that was the last time I've seen him or anything.
I was wanted to discuss with him and give him direction and give him instruction. So, you had gone after the picture.
So how lucky was that one too? So at the end of the day,
so he had the same opportunity? He had the same
opportunity. Because people often even forget, some people used to assume rather that I'm a member of God's Embassy.
Of God, yeah.
And Pastor Sunday Elijah is your pastor. Well, pastor in that sense, I get it. No, a lot of people.
But you are not.
Yeah, but I'm not, I don't even attend the church. So now the question is, how did we meet? We met purely on the basis of social political group. And that was because I was on a path. And I think I've had successors after that. And I don't think
they took advantage.
They took advantage of an already prepared meal. At least it took some convincing to beg you to be part of this stuff and so many free things you offered us after them. But how many of them took advantage of that to say, okay.
So it's not luck.
No, it's not luck. And if anyone would still want to argue, I think probably not to overflog it. You've written a book, probably even two. Life is Predictable, number one. And the second book is My Greatest Discovery in Life. My Greatest Discovery in Life. Those two books by DSA would just give you the principle of why it's not luck. Okay, imagine today, and I still think about that, and I'm saying, okay, I have the governor of my state in Ekiti. I could meet him at any moment, but the reason why I've not pushed for it is, what do I have to offer him? Not just rhetorics that he knows and he does not want to do. I'm talking about real plan that, okay, you know, the way you have your own project now and you have everything that you don't require his input apart from just say, please go ahead. And I'm asking myself to, what plan do I have that I say, okay, if I meet the governor, this is what I want to project. So because I'm asking that now and I go back, of course I have projects I've worked on, but they are not anywhere near presentation. But in the eventuality that I push and I meet the governor and I'm able to get things done, and someone will say it's luck. No, it's not luck. People create their own future.
Life is an opportunity.
Life is an opportunity.
There's a book there also.
Yeah. Life is an opportunity.
It's called Life is an Opportunity.
Yeah. Life is an opportunity.
Okay, some people, which I've seen, this one I've seen it on the internet. They say you and Anu is just because you are supporting everything DSA said. That is why they gave you the platform. Maybe because you are, you know, almost like being psychophant to DSA.
Obsequious.
That is, yeah, that is for you to be able to get the opportunity. You know, that's why DSA is pushing you people and giving you a platform. They don't know, of course, the stories behind the stories, what brought you here and how you got to do what you are doing. But they are thinking that you are just robbing the back of DSA.
How do you answer such people? Because no matter what you answer them, they have their minds made up.
No, they even write it on the internet that you don't have your own mind.
It's okay.
And your own opinion. That is just because you are massaging DSA, that's what you are only there for.
No problem.
And you people have been hired.
No problem. Let them come and massage your own ego without substance, and let's see how much time they will get. Because one thing they don't know, and why it may not necessarily really be necessary to answer such people, for instance, is that no matter what you say to them, they are haters with mind made up. They are not ignorant. They are just being what's the word for this?
Haters.
Mischievous. They are just being mischievous. It's not like they don't understand. It's not like they don't know. They are just being mischievous. But just probably for the sake of just talking on that, I would say, why, in all of everything, why is it that you are not asking me to come and talk about engineering?
Or even medicine.
Yeah, even the medicine that I am studying. Why are you not even really engaging me much, even on the psychiatry?
Because you are very prepared, and you are, you have the actuality of the topic that are needed.
Yeah, exactly. Why is Anu not talking about politics?
Because as close as he is to rob the back of DSA.
In the eventuality, there are people who have certain skills, and that skills will always make way for them anytime.
Like the Proverbs says.
Yeah. And here's the deal, that these same people, if I go to Nigeria or go anywhere in the world, and okay, yes, it is DSA. After the Crimean War, after the Crimean annexation, and we transferred to Lviv, and I had a guy who was following me then, and I told him, I said, in 4 months, I'm going to show you that the greatness I achieved in Crimea was no fluke. Probably I know we remember. I told the guy that, because it was more like a mentee, so I told him, I'm going to prove to you that more like life is predictable. I had not even met them, but I told him then. And what happened? Immediately we got to the city, we took over the city. Our influence took over that city. Everything came to life. Everything. Because Lviv was probably like a dead city where nothing was happening. When we got there, we resurrected almost every part of their life. Socially, even academically, it was more, they received more challenge. So I was able to replicate everything I did in Crimea. Within that month, I was the president of their Senate. Within that 4 months, I was the president of their Senate. I was the president of the Christian Fellowship, not Fellowship, but the Association of Christian Bodies there then. I became the president. I was leading in all the spheres where leadership was needed. In under 4 months, a guy was just coming from another city. So what did that mean? It means that because of what I had and what I knew, and coming into the space where it was needed, I was a fit-in. So you were not doing a political program before, but when the space came out for it, and there was a need for it, and because I had something, maybe not preparation. Yeah, I had the preparation. I had something. I fit into
a round peg in a round hole.
A round hole, and that's exactly what it is. And probably Anu would even know that I could even do the same thing that I'm doing with politics. I could do it even with religion, even with everything. He's doing pastoring without tears. I could do it that much with it, but that's not my driving passion. It is Anu's. Anu is more passionate about
pastors.
Correcting, because he has pastored a church and he's seen the difference between what he did and how he could have done it better. So he has a passion to pass on that knowledge. But as much as I have the same knowledge, I don't have the same passion to transmit such knowledge. Yeah, so that's the difference. And he is doing what he's doing and he's great at it, and I am doing what I'm passionate about and I'm great at it. And the greatness that must be said of you is the ability to recognize that and not even mix it up. Because I could sit down here today and we'll talk Bible. And I tell you, I'm very great at that. But those are not, for me, they are just a part of my everyday life, not really they are the forefront of driving, of my drive. So, but for you to be able to say, okay, Victor, you are really driven about this thing, you recognize it and you give it a platform, I think that brilliance must be spoken about. Because that's the same thing, for instance, in this political space, that's what differentiates Tinubu from the rest of the other politicians. Say what you want about Tinubu. It's not because anybody is rubbing his back. There are 2 million people to rub his back. But he recognizes those who can deliver and gives them the platform. And that's not to say I'm correlating the two of you. Of course, you have personality differences and goal differences. But rubbing your back is the excuse of an insane person. And
so what will it look like being here and not, what you are saying is that anybody could have taken advantage?
Anybody. Your doors are, I was telling Anu today, because he was telling me particularly of the things, okay, he was telling, we're talking about, for instance, the things he has learned from you and how to apply them. And I was telling him that for me, I can't apply things at your level. We agreed that, okay, of course we have to keep the principle. But where am I coming to? The way your own doors are open, I can't open my doors like that too. Because your doors are just so wide, so open, just so open. For me, I'm too defensive to open my own doors like that.
To that extent.
To that extent. So it means that if your doors are that open, I know someone who came all the way from England and did not inform you and was knocking at the door. and you were there, you received him. So if people could come like that, and that's the principle about life.
So it's not because there are no opportunities.
No. Opportunities can arise, you get it. Okay, it's about this where I'm coming from, sir.
And it's not because they are not lucky.
Yes, things can arise, but can you keep? To get and to maintain are two different
Maybe
things.
You even need to recognize too first.
Yeah. Yes.
You might not even be able to see or recognize opportunities.
No. Yes. But even if you recognize it, and you are not prepared for it,
you will still lose it.
You still lose it.
And how many people have come around and have lost it?
And have lost it. How many people have come around and didn't even know they had opportunities? Look at Mayowa. Our
who could even
she could not talk when she came now. She was probably the shyest person you know. But if Mayowa talked today,
she couldn't appear before camera.
You people will say fire. But when she came, the opportunity was there. Of course, maybe not the preparedness, maybe the preparedness was not there, but there was a preparedness that yet was. The preparedness to learn. And that's why a lot of people are different. I'll give you an example. You know, when we started translating for you, that time, I think for the first about 10 books or 7 books, we had to be reading everything to you word for word. And there was a time I had to go back home, and we had not finished the book. So I asked the guy who was here then to say, please, since you are here, would you help me read to DSA? You know what he said to me? I said, no. I can't read to DSA. DSA say, why are you reading like something's in your mouth? Why? Because by the time when he read for you, you were demanding excellence, even in that reading. You were demanding, read with a clear voice, read with the proper punctuations, read in a way, so more like anyone who was reading with you then would have known how, if you were to read a lecture and to be audible, at least you will be picking that. So what does that mean? That even in working with you, you give criticisms, you give critiques of what people were doing.
People might not
so
like
if people were not prepared to learn, those kind of people will run away. So it's not like it's all rosy and well done every time. Critiques are given.
Corrections
Corrections are given. And that's the place of mentorship. So someone could have had the opportunity to come, but has no personality to take those criticism. Okay, I'll give you one now, DSA. Do you know, after the show we did with Anu during your birthday celebration, I think you gave Anu a critique and he passed it on to me. Of course, probably that day, there were certain things you didn't know
was going on.
But the critique was still necessary, no matter how much I felt about it. There were things I could pick from it. What am I saying? Would the critique, would it sound nice? Maybe it will not sound nice. But if I have the preparedness to learn, then I have to know what to pick from it to make probably the next one I'm going to do better. You know, for instance, that day now, 2 hours had gone, we're still on slide 6 of 18. So it meant for the remaining 2 hours that we had, we needed to rush. So no matter how much you understood or did not understand, it means for me to next time, I know I need to find out to be succinct with my point to avoid the circumlocution that will take me 2 hours to explain 6 points. So that was taken. So the remaining seemed rushed. You might not have seen the slide that, okay, this was all going on. But I had to now be able to pick that out that, okay, next time you have to be considerate of time and know how to spread the presentation in a way that we allow. But, you know, I could have said, oh, that was unfair of DSA or something, and then run away.
You didn't know that?
Yes, you did not know may be valid, but the most valid stuff must be my preparedness to learn. And that's what will make me better in that field, and in fact, in the fact that I have an opportunity and now that I am using it. So, but a lot of people don't have that characteristic, so to say, okay, there's an opportunity before me, critiques may come, but do I have the emotional intelligence to handle that and then move forward? And I think that in itself is...
So most of these people who come and leave and never really take advantage to learn, to change, to grow. You have mentioned something over and over again in our discussion today, which is mainly the change and the transformation that you have experienced in your life, the changes that have taken place in your life. And you said you have discovered yourself, about your potentials. So you are no more just living for professional career to go and make a living and to go and get salary, but you are now talking as a personality. So, but there are 3 things I always emphasize in with people that I walk around and that I try to impact to them. Even in my teachings and things like that, I always try to impart to people the knowledge of God, who God is, the knowledge about life, what life is, and the knowledge about self, who they are. Who am I? And things like that. So 3 things, three distinct changes that I try to bring to people's life. Who am I? You will discover yourself. If you really know DSA, you will discover yourself. Because that's one major thing all his teachings are all about. Yeah. To know who you are. Second thing, you will know who God is. Your knowledge, not that you will be born again, no.
Yes.
But the knowledge of God.
Not that you cannot be, but that's not the goal. But just to know.
Yeah, so people could know God before. People say, but I was born again before.
Yeah.
But that's not the kind of knowledge.
To know Him, not just to have heard about Him.
Yeah. No, not just to have been born again or to have been going to church, not just to have been a Christian. We are talking about intimacy, that you will know God. Yeah. You know, like there is somebody that said, now I can say I know God. Even after pastoring. After pastoring for years and doing that, it's just now I know that I know God. God has become my friend.
I just became born again.
I just became born again. So people say that a lot. Why? Because that's the second major thing that really happens when people begin to relate to me, really with their heart, or not just people coming to play politics.
I was going to say that too, as part of why a lot of people don't learn. many, because I've been here for a while, and I've seen that many people come around you, come for, people could come for themselves, but they come for banal stuffs that are material, so to say. And so they get disappointed.
Mundane.
Yeah, mundane things, when that's not really probably what you are living for, that's not what you're up to as of that time.
Yeah, so these three major things are the things that I say people, at least people who have been around me should discover, or people who have been listening to me, to know yourself, like you have said. You have mentioned that part, that you have discovered yourself, you know yourself, a personality. What about the two other ones? Knowing yourself is one. What about knowing God in a different way and a new level? And what about understanding and knowing life? So there are three distinctive kind of transformation that happens to people. The transformation about discovering yourself, discovering God in a new way, and then discovering what life is really about. What will you say about those ones?
With the God part, without any, with the risk, without any intention of sounding immodest, I would say what I got from you was the boldness to be assertive in my position, and the assurance that I think I'm right with my thoughts, because I stopped going to church in 2015, and there were reasons. That was not because I left God, but they were not. That wasn't fashionable to say you left.
You stopped going to church.
You stopped going to church. It wasn't fashionable, and nobody really understands that you are not going to church and you still know God. It's not fashionable. But to meet someone like you and your teachings, they give you the boldness to say, "Oh yes, I'm on the right track." Not because
I was not
going
wrong.
to church is bad. No, that's not why. But that now this person really understands that going to church must be with a purpose, and that it must be the overall purpose that guides your actions. Okay, for me, I took that was in 2015 DSA. I took and I'm coming back to how yours came into it, sir. But I took a calculator and I calculated my time every Sunday. I wake up, prepare, that I'm preparing to go to church. I spend, let's say, 1 hour preparing to go to church. The shortest distance to get there is 30 minutes. So that's 1 hour, 30 minutes. Preparing to go to church.
What about coming back?
The same 1 hour, 30 minutes. So that's 3 hours. I now get to the church. The least time they spend, even if they are going to be on time, very much on time, 2 hours. After church, you still greet people. Still do sometimes some meetings, probably that are unnecessary, even the times that the church extends. So I now realize that on Sunday, I've lost nothing less than 7 hours. And I'm calculating back, what did I gain? It's a problem. Not to talk of the fact that even when I'm in the church, the pastor is talking and I'm hearing nonsense. It's like antithetical, anti-intellect. Is because you are preaching about, for instance, someone is preaching about miracle.
You are not gaining anything.
Yeah, so it's more like I'm even losing. So I now looked at all of those times. Is it a worthy trade? So for me, I found out it was not a worthy trade for me to spend my time at that. When actually there are certain preachers or even certain materials that I could just take 1 hour of those 7 just to listen to on Sunday, and it would have been different. When my own Bible is there that I could just sit with, even if it's 30 minutes out of the 7, and this
you still get more.
I'll get more. So I now discovered that the church was more of a social
cultural group
for me. So I now go most times only when I'm very bored and I just need. I'll probably have not seen some people in a long time. So then I just go for that sake.
Socializing.
Just for socializing. But who do you explain that to, that even in all of this rebelling against the norm, the standard, or the status quo, that I still had a very wonderful relationship with God, that I still understood the concept of, personal relationship, and that I could even still preach. I have never lost what it means to preach, But your teachings are quite a lot of them, from Plague of Silence to, there are just so many to mention. They now reinstate and reinforce the core belief of why personal relationship with God is the core, and every other thing comes second, even church. Your core message on individual and purpose now makes me understand that even when it comes to God, and this may sound anyhow you want to sound, but that's your problem. I mean, those who intentionally want to say I'm heretical, yeah. Even when it comes to God, your purpose comes first. Even when it comes to God. Why? Because God created DSA, created me. Gave DSA a purpose, gave me a purpose. And He relates with us on the basis of that purpose. And so I cannot come to God on the basis, on the premise of His relationship with DSA. I have to come to Him on the basis and premise of His relationship and purpose for me. And so even when it comes to God, my purpose is the most interesting. And that I now discovered, especially from the Old Testament DSA, the old prophet and the young prophet. Do you know God spoke to the two of them? But God spoke to the young and gave him a word. And he had to hold on to the word. If any other thing, God has to speak to him straight again. But he went by the purpose of another and was consumed by it. So what do I mean? That listening to you and all of the messages you preach, like I was saying earlier, that two things happen when people meet you. Even for those who know some things before, it really comes alive in them. And so for me, that part of relationship with God being the core of everything really came much more alive, and more like beyond the Holy Spirit witnessing that, there was another person whose voice was human and also witnesses the same thing that I know within me. And of course, to talk about the different things that I've learned newly will be without bound. Your interpretation to scriptures, it's not the homiletics per se, but the fact that even from the Old Testament, where people will consider to be where revelation is really not, you can go there and use and bring it out to explain the concept of the Jesus and the relationship you are now talking about. And many times I see you bring out a whole life out of... Okay, let me say this. I want to say it with a real example. There was an HMT you did January 2016, if you remember. And from that HMT, the basis of that HMT was from the book of Psalms. Give me understanding and I will live. Just that. Just give me understanding and I will live. And you cannot believe that DSA was teaching nothing less than 5 different sessions from just that. Give me understanding, and it came alive. So, of course, this is not particular to your teaching of the Bible alone, but that's you generally. The ability to lift just what one will consider minute subject, and then expand it to the level that even if I have to give a summary of what you said, in itself is a teaching. So that's one thing I've learned from you too. So really, DSA, to say the things I've learned from you about God, for me, they are more, and this may sound heretical to some other people too, but I've learned more physical things about God than spiritual. And I think that's exactly what it means to be spiritual. Because I often ask people who try to be sanctimonious in their spirituality, And I say, okay, in all of this, your spirituality, you think it's carnal to have knowledge or to have physical understanding. And I'm asking you, okay, you are spiritual being, and they say yes. Okay, tell me, how are you able to measure your spirituality? How are you able to measure your spiritual growth? What makes you say, I am more spiritual this year than I was last year? And don't mention anything that goes to your sense. And you see that it's impossible to even really measure our spirituality without our senses. So it's impossible to measure your spirituality without telling me how much you have changed in your mind. So that's why I'm saying, even so much of the spiritual things that I've learned from you are from the earthly principles that has built me my core. Because I've come to realize that spiritually I'm perfect. All I need to do is bring the shape of that perfection into my mind. And there's so many principles of life, the predictability of life.
That is conversion you are talking about.
Yeah. All of those, the fact that the wealth of life are already available, and it is of me to make riches out of it by conversion, like you said. And those for me are the spiritual principles that I really need. Those are things, if you ask me about what I've gained, that I will mention. Because again, I've always said, and I've realized that God has called us to be a partaker of his divine nature. And the first thing that was mentioned in the nature of God was his ability to create. You know, the Bible says, in the beginning, God created. And that was the first thing that was said of his nature. And I've realized that if I am not creating something, if I am not converting, I am a spectator of the divine nature. And that I do not want to be. I want to be a partaker and not a spectator. And so you realize that what makes me a partaker is my ability to create something in this world. And so that's why I try my best every day to convert something, to convert a product, even if it's a line, even if it's a thought, even if it's to sit down somewhere 5 minutes and build a whole thought process, and it becomes something in my head. It becomes a part of me to ingest something, even if it is a thought for a day. That ability to create, I've understood it to be probably the podium upon which my own spirituality stands. So the principles that I've learned that has aided me in doing that and are still aiding me in doing that, the more principles I will learn that will help me to do that, those are what I consider spirituality, and that you've helped me so much more with. Because eventually, DSA, without physicality, there is no claim to spirituality. Because again, I would ask you, when you get to heaven, would you still be spiritual? If we were all in heaven, who will be saying I'm spiritual? The only reason why you are saying you are spiritual is because you are in the physical. So it means for everything we talk about spirituality, the physical, no matter what,
the measurement
is physical. So that's on the side of knowing God. Yeah, there's it. And thank God for his grace and that he keeps keeping me in his name. And I pray that every day I will be an expression of his love and an expression of his grace and of his mercy, that it can shine forth more through me every day. But when it comes to life, DSA, I don't think that anyone will genuinely come in contact with you or your materials and not begin to have a shift in their understanding of life. I've seen 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds come and say, wow, what have I been doing with my life? And sometimes on the side, they call us and say, you guys are lucky that you are hearing this now.
Yeah, I even know people who used to come on the platform to comment. And at least 2-3 people have written me and said, why have you not been coming on? Please, DSA, we have not been coming on live broadcast to comment because we witnessed and we noticed what has happened to Victor and Anu. If they are so young and they understand life like this, and with what they know, I don't have anything doing commenting. I want to just get to all the old series, all the books, just keep quiet. I don't even want to talk. Keep quiet, lock myself inside, and at least try to get to the level of those children, because they are like children to me. But I don't, if I would know 10% of what they know,
Yeah.
So people are saying, you said people are calling
Yeah,
you. Those are the ones you...
70, 50, 60s, and they've gone in their age. And so what that means is that when they come to meet you, and this is as a result of your materials, and I'll say this to cynical people who will say, why am I making everything about DSA when they are meant to be talking about me? Well, when you look and you are analytical enough, and you look at every juncture of your life and you see what changed, and you're able to know, okay, this is the point, something has changed for me.
Okay, what would you say was your understanding of life even before coming in touch with DSA? Because for you to talk about change, there was something before.
Yeah, like I was saying, before I met you, for me, it was still me trying to be great. But the difference between the me now and the me then is that the greatness I now seek is out of myself. How much of service can I give?
No, you explain to people who are...
Yeah. So for me, before, I was developing so I can build myself up. That was the me. That was all my self-development. That's what it's about. I don't want to be the same. That's why I was telling you the other time that there was no way I could have been the same with the other guys, because I was working so much on me to be this great guy who has a dream and is pursuing it. So it was me. It was still centered around me. Yes, of course, out of that me, I was ready to give, and I was in fact giving. I'd been giving for a long time, but it was more out of convenience. But the me now is the guy who is pursuing greatness out of what he can do for others right now. So that's the basic difference. So for every day I'm looking at what can I do to serve. And that's why as of...
So your understanding of life is no more revolving around yourself?
No, it's not revolving around myself. It's about what can I give? What can I serve?
Service.
Yeah.
Stewardship.
Stewardship. That's really what's about for me right now. So every next thing I'm trying to get, even if I go and do any course right now, it's not about the certificate. It's about, okay, well, this certificate, when I get it, how can it help me to serve? So that's why for me now, even when I go to Nigeria, I realized that Nigeria was about leverage. That really before you can achieve much in Nigeria, you must have the leverage you bring. And every leverage I'm seeking is not because I want to be rich. If I want to be rich, only just to be rich, I know exactly what to do to just, if it's just for money, I know a few things to do to get money. But because it's about service, I'm trying to get every leverage possible so that I can be of service at the most optimum level that I can be in when I get the opportunity to be there. So, but before waiting till then, I'm doing every day of my best, converting materials to be of service to the world around me. So
even
that's
though
the difference between me and them.
Even though I had not done any teaching on service up till recently. I only just finished yesterday.
Okay, let me
series on service and stewardship.
You didn't need to do that for me. You did not need to do that. Oh, beautiful. There's no way I will read this book. No, who will attend your funeral. There was no way. It's impossible for me to read that book and not really understand what service is. You did not even need to mention it. It's just so impossible for me to read this book that is in front of me right now and I will live life the way I used to live it. It's impossible. Just so even if you did not say anything after, just the fact that I read this book, if I don't say anything to me the next 10 years, that's it. This book is enough to have changed my life. And it's just trend. People just need to see. Those who come around you genuinely, they should look at their lives 1 month before they met you and 1 month after and see that these are the people who are now thinking of charity. These are the people who are now thinking of what can they really contribute to Nigeria. Many of them who have been living in diaspora for 15, 25 years, who were never thinking of what to do to Nigeria, are now starting to think of, oh, there's a country called Nigeria that people are really suffering. But people did not start to suffer when they met you, but their eyes opened. their perspective to life changed from that moment. And so for me too, that was exactly the difference. That I stopped.
Life is all about
Service. It's about stewardship. Who can you serve? And you know, you might not have thought about in the serious form, but there was a message you did, even in that HMT, where you're talking about, I am a ladder. Come and climb on me. Come and climb on me. That you were talking about how some people will say, some pastors say, people are using me, people are using me. But me, that's what I'm looking for. Come and use me. And that service has helped you not just to be of yourself, or not just to remain within the confines of just what you know, just to benefit yourself. But every day now, you count your blessings, and they are not in money. And they are not in how many houses you have, but in the lives you have been able to transform through the service of your knowledge. And a lot of people take it for granted, but the service is there. God rewards, but even much more, the reward is here in seeing people's life change, people changing the course of their life and living it the way they should have a long time ago. And seeing people literally transform. People who were living in depression because they were just thinking of themselves, now they are getting to think about other people, and they are out of their own world and the self-imposed misery of just living in their world. Now they're out of it, focusing and placing energy on so many other people, and that energy they are giving, they are getting it back, because life is give and take. You give energy of happiness, you get it back. You give energy of service, you get it back. So people's life are just changing, and that's a pure truth. Anyone who has a problem with that should go and do something better if they know how to do it. But is it the pure truth? It is the pure truth. And so for me, the basic challenge you've thrown to me is not to wait till I'm comfortable before I start serving. And a lot of people will say, but I don't have what it takes to serve. But as far as there's breath in your nostril, you have that to give. You have that to give. So what does that mean? It means you have yourself to give. Even when you don't have money, you can volunteer. And that's the secret of greatness. And I think,
so if you or other students would have gone back home just by finishing medical school and not even discover all this aspect of life, what life would they have been gone back to?
I'll tell you what it is. You get to Nigeria, you chase money. After chasing money, you realize there's not so much money in Nigeria. Then you start thinking of how to run away to the US. So when you run to the US, if you eventually get there, you say, God forbid, I'm not coming back to this country again. And then you become a slave to the same system of Uncle Sam in the US. Then when you get to about 80 years, God help you to live that long. Then you now start realizing, wow, time has gone. What did I really do with this life? What's the difference now? Does it mean that even I may never leave Nigeria? No, I could leave Nigeria. But what it means is that my products, my services, my conversions will never leave Nigeria. So it means even if I live in the farthest part of the earth, I will still have children I'm sponsoring in Nigeria. I will still have lives that I'm touching in Nigeria. My thoughts, my engineering will never leave Nigeria. So what does that mean? It means that for every moment, every minute, I'm thinking of how can I be of service to Nigeria? And that's the difference. So a lot of people who are going back, who are my colleagues and my mates and people who finish together and are finishing after us, are always thinking of what
themselves.
Can Nigeria give to me? And of course, Nigeria right now has nothing to give to so many people. So that's why a lot of people are trying to run out of it. But for the few who get to think of what they can give to Nigeria, they are the few who are living a life of service, and their lives are different.
Is that a concept that is well known in Nigeria, that life is about service and stewardship?
No.
Or people don't even hear about it regularly, or they don't even hear about it at all?
No. I'll give you an example. You see, you take Pastor Tony Rapu away from Nigeria. You take Sam Adeyemi away from Nigeria. Then we are talking about how many
But
other pastors.
those are people who have learned from me.
No.
Tony Rapu came here 5 times to study how we are doing the things.
Yeah, and you can see it's really shining in that area of rehabilitation. So, but you take them out of the system. Then you think of how many other
And Sam Adeyemi also said, whenever he's stuck in ministry, he knows where to go. I go to Dr. Sunday Elijah's materials.
They are different in the whole
Landscape.
picture, in the whole landscape. Yeah. So you take them out, then you now see that the message that is going to the general populace is an egoistic one. It's about themselves and survival. So what has now happened is that the population has now become more vicious, more ferocious in trying to find resources for survival. So the land has now become a land of survival of the fittest. So what does it mean? There's a food that is placed in a hole, and people have long spoons, very long spoons. So they are sitting around the hole. So everybody is trying to get a spoon to take to their mouth. So what's happening is that because the spoon is so long, the spoon cannot get to their mouth. But because they own the spoon, they thought the purpose of the spoon was to feed them. But the purpose of the spoon and why it's that long is not to feed them, but to feed the person opposite them. So what should have happened was that you pick the soup, then you feed the next person. The next person pick the food, then feeds you. So because his spoon is long enough to reach you. And when your hands are weak, people bring their spoons together to help sustain the hand that you are using to feed the next person. That's what community is meant to be. But the community that we've been built, that we have been taught, is that where everybody is fighting for the resource. So now it's for themselves, and it's become a game of survival of the fittest. And funny enough, it is the same masses that create problem for themselves that also suffer from it.
Well, there's a lot of people who are watching us, I guess. I don't know if there are a lot or not, but I think some of them might be willing to call in and maybe ask you a few questions, or maybe to just commend you and thank you for the service that you have been bringing to them and for the way you have been a blessing to them. So if anybody wants to call into the program, please go ahead and send us a message that you want to call. Go to Facebook Messenger, look for Move Agents, Matic, and then just call and say that, not call, but write us that you want to call. Send us SMS, send us text message that you want to call. And once you are ready to call, once we get your text message, we will call you back. We will call you back. And I'm sure, because this might be the last time you are saying Dr. Victor here with me on this program. So he's traveling back to Nigeria. He's moving on, from Ukraine. So it will be good for you people to let us hear what you think about or what you want to tell him before he leaves this country. So and these are some of the books that Dr. Victor himself has said have impacted him the most. This particular book, Nigeria and the Leadership Question, and then he will attend your funeral. I think we have a caller. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes, we will need you to speak directly into your device. We can't hear you well.
Hello, sir.
Hello?
How are you, sir?
Who is calling from where, sir?
It's Richard Adedeji. Adewale Richard Adedeji.
Richard from England, yes.
How are you, sir?
Now it's good. We hear you well now.
Good. I just want to say first congratulations to Dr. Victor. I think I met him 6 months before I met you. And he did one powerful video that said that, did your GO tell you this? And I just listened to that video and I said, wow, this guy is loaded. Immediately I sent him a friend request and we became friends. He did other videos that I had to ask him that, look, can I do a work on that your video and put it on YouTube? And I just want to thank God for what they have been able to gain from you. And you said one thing, you said, is it luck? It's not luck, sir. When you said, is it luck? No, it is not luck. A lot of us have not met you. I have not met you personally, but what I have been able to learn from you from afar has improved my own life. And me as a person, I hardly read books, but at the moment, I have 3 of your books. The first book that I got from you was Who Am I? I needed to know who I was. Even though I was in ministry, when I met you, I needed to go back and redefine who am I? What am I supposed to do? What have you called me to do? And during that process too, another thing I learned was that I had an intimate relationship with God. So because I have that relationship, I'm able now to, bring out what God has asked me to do.
Yes.
And it is a privilege that people like Victor is there, people like Anu Ojo is there, Pastor Clemsy is there. These are people that you have touched. And I know that there are millions of us too that you have touched outside. I have not even met you. I don't think you know my face. But I have learned a lot from you. And for this guy sitting next to you to have learned what he has learned, they are opportuned. But I know that some of us are not there with you. We don't interact, but with your materials that are out there, you have left things for the next generation to benefit from. So I just want to say, Mr. Victor, you are not lucky. Everything you have done there is intentional.
Amen.
And you have been able to learn from him physically. He has rubbed on you. We see even for the past 2 years now, you yourself have changed as a person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like DSA said, now you listen. Before you don't used to listen. So I just want to thank you for what you have done for him, Pastor Sunday. And you, at the moment, you may be feeling low about what is happening, but a lot of people are learning from you. Like Nicodemus came to Jesus Christ in the middle of the night. There are a lot of people that are learning from you. They are not able to, show that they are with you at the moment, but we see them. And I just want to encourage you. And Pastor Victor, the next thing you're going to do, I believe God is going to orchestrate your move. Amen. And he's going to be with you. And in what you have learned from DSA, put it at the center of what you are doing. Somebody like me, what I have learned as if you look at the production of my videos now, one has to be better than the next one.
Yeah.
The last one has to be better. We are striving for excellence. You said there was somebody there that he could not even read. If you cannot read, how can you express yourself?
Yeah.
So everything we do, we have to do it. The next one has to be better. We have to strive for perfection. And that is one thing DSA has. Even when I'm calling now, he's already telling me, speaking to that is what you want. What excellent. And I just want to thank God for what you guys are doing there. Bless you. Pastor Sunday, thank you. Pastor Victor,
thank you.
God bless you. And in this next phase of your life, grab it.
Amen.
You can handle it. You are prepared. You have what it takes in you. You just go out there and launch out.
Amen. Brother Richard, you are one of the voices of hope for that country and for the rest of the world. Thank you for the good job you are doing, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.
God bless.
Bye.
Okay, so that was Pastor Richard Adedeji from England. And I'm sure they say we have a lot of people who want to call. Ooh. So we have to be doing a lot of connection, quick. People that you have blessed. People that your sacrifice and ministry have touched, like himself. He said he has even been using your material as well. And so, I'm sure some of them want to call him to express their appreciation for what God has used you to do and what you had made yourself available to be able to give to your generation and generation to come. But, even like Mr. Adedeji that called, it's not generation to come. He's much older than yourself.
Much older.
So these are the senior generation that are even older than you that are calling to say thank you. So
it's humbling.
Yeah.
It's humbling.
Some of them can even have children of your age. You know, some of them already even have. Hello?
Bonjour, DSA and BAMISAYE.
I was thinking that this guy should be online today. Innocent Magaji.
Bonsoir.
I followed you. I followed the conversation, the question. I don't know if I missed the part where you asked BAMISAYE to answer you, since he has learned something about life.
Yes.
And finding himself, his purpose. You asked him a question about what he thinks about, like, does he find God? I don't know if I missed that part because I didn't hear anything from that.
I asked him.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you will address that after this. And
No, just go and watch the video again.
all right, okay.
I asked him and he answered. Me, I had the answer.
That was great. That was good. You
just make sure you speak louder.
Okay, am I loud now because I'm speaking?
Well, maybe closer to your device will be better even.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, excellent now.
All right, okay. So yeah, I followed your progress. The very first day you started appearing in DSA's platform, and I saw the way you evolve and the correction that DSA made. I think they're right about you growing in emotional intelligence. And I listened to you. You're very intelligent. I must tell you this, you're very intelligent, your level of analysis. I saw your post about Buhari and the way you're trying to make, and people are trying to say, no, don't think like this, don't think like that. It takes boldness, it takes someone with analytical mind to be able to think differently from the rest of the population. So I just want to congratulate you for the time you spent, and then wish you good luck with the next project. Me, I'm still hoping that one day we'll meet eventually with you, DSA, and the rest of the team, and be able to work together. So good luck in your next project, and in Nigeria, we're hoping to join you soon. That's all I want to say.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Innocent.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye. This is the second book that Victor has been talking about so much, and he recommends a lot for anybody that care to listen to him. If you listen to him very well, you will see, and you will hear what he says about this book. Who will attend your funeral? If those things he is saying are true, and the book is as impactful to him, maybe we should all find out. I think we have a call. Hello.
Good afternoon, DSA and Dr. Victor.
Good afternoon.
That's Mr. Charles, I guess.
Charles.
Yes, Charles calling from Canada.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing excellent.
I was with him last summer.
You are?
Yeah.
You've met him?
Yeah, I met him in Lagos. Yeah.
You met live?
Yeah.
You mean it?
Live and direct, yes. And when I saw the program today, it was with mixed emotions, and I was also very happy. And this is the reason. First, I want to thank you, DSA, for pouring yourself or part of yourself out into this young man. The reason why I can say thank you is, like Innocent Makaji said, I also saw his transformation over the years, or over the months that we've seen him. And he has really matured. He had come out of himself, and now he's becoming the person that he is actually supposed to be. Dr. Victor, I want to tell you that I personally admire you. And you are one of the, I can say that you are the person that got me interested in Nigerian politics. I don't, even in Canada here, I vote, but that's about it. I just vote, I don't care, whatever. But you got my interest in politics. And not because that you are a politician yourself, but because you've taken keen interest into this area and you are thriving in it. I'm even surprised at a point you were saying that, Vision 2035, that you don't see yourself ready. I say, wow, this guy has learned so much and is actually working on it. One other thing which you taught me, I never knew it is possible to send a child to school in Nigeria with as low as 15,000 naira. It was your project 30 before 30 that opened my eyes to see that. And I really want to say that, I want to say thank you for all this.
Thank you, sir.
When you guys, with Dr. Anu and Dr. Success, do analysis with DSA, I used to marvel that, man, these guys, their minds have been so developed. But you know what? I didn't feel jealous about it. I just got motivated. I buried myself into self-development too. And I think
and you are doing you are now on the same you are now the same you have now arrived.
That's even if you have not overtaken us. Because you need to watch his Bible studies.
I know one of the things is when I met Victor last year, I met him with I went to visit a very senior executive in an oil company in Nigeria. And we were together with Victor. He could hold conversation with us. Though we're not in the same, he was still a student. This man, even as a child, almost as his age. And I'm much older than him too. But he was able to hold conversation with us. We all talked, we laughed, we ate food. It was fun. And why am I bringing this up? Is because you are a man. And when Paul was writing to Timothy in 1 Timothy 4, he said to him that don't neglect the spiritual gifts. Don't take these life lessons for granted. Even if you have to sit down with Buhari or Shibajo, just be who you are. You have all it takes to stand before anybody. Just be who you are. The only admonition to you is don't forget. Paul was writing to Timothy, he said, don't neglect this spiritual gift. Don't neglect these lessons. Please don't drop your books and say, oh, I've read this book, I know all. Go back when you enter Nigeria. Because in those books, your eyes will open even further when you are inside the terrain. And I'll be looking forward to hear of your exploit in Nigeria, and I'll be looking to support in any which way I can do as well. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you for your service to us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your kind words.
All right, sir. That is Brother Charles from Canada right there. Thank you so much. Okay, you see, you know, these are all, we don't even see people of your age so much on my platform. They are there, but they are not as active as your parents' age or your brother's age.
Yeah. Because, you know, people at my age, they are still running through the paces of life. People of his age have been there, they've seen it. They've seen that it doesn't really it doesn't really have much to give. And so when they see the alternative, they quickly recognized it. But for people of my age, they are still going through the pace. So if they don't understand this now, they will get to the age and the same thing would happen. And so that's why, really, for me, as much as, of course, thank God I would never have been like them.
I think we have a caller.
I had a great gift also in seeing the reality of life from your lenses.
Hello?
Hello, good evening, DSA.
Oh, that is Nigeria. Is that Israel Balogun?
Yes, sir, this is Israel. Good evening.
Maybe you speak that into your device and louder, please.
Okay, can you hear me now, sir?
Yes.
Dr. Victor, congratulations on your just concluded course in medicine. And hello?
Yeah, thank you. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, and also I will say, I will hardly believe that you are a doctor if I've not heard from anybody. It is simple. When you speak politics, you speak like founding fathers, as if you are there when the politics started in Nigeria. I'm not flattering you, to be honest. And then I used to think I know about politics. But when I hear you talking, I was just like, okay, let me just keep my mouth shut and learn from here, because it seems what I think I know, I don't know. And then to me, I did not even know you have done that much. Apart from being a doctor, you have also gone into politics in that country, and you have attained such a status. I am so glad. Two things happened to me when I saw the flyer for today's program. Saying to Dr. Victor, are you telling me that we are missing out on
this program of this man every week, that one can be so sure you'll be informed about what is going on politically in Nigeria. Secondly, I also feel like, oh, is he coming to Nigeria? That would be an added blessing to us here.
Wow.
So it's a mixed reaction for me. That if this guy is relocating to Nigeria, I am so sure, I am just 100% sure it's an added advantage.
Wow.
Because wherever he land, would this guy be in Lagos? I will not meet him. How now? how possible? Will he be in Lagos and will not start a revolution here? It's not possible. So it's like a mixed feelings, and I'm so happy that you have done. To tell you that you have been transformed is to say the obvious. I don't know you before, who you are. When I met you, actually, when I first saw you on the platform, I saw a man with a developed mind. So I don't know, many people who have known you for years may say, okay, it wasn't like this before, but when I came on that platform, I saw a developed man, but I kept on.
We are losing you.
Seeing a man with, and then let me also say that DSA is raising sons of the kingdom. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Okay, just make sure you speak closer to your device.
Okay. I also want to say that DSA is raising sons of the kingdom. Sons of the kingdom. Sons who no longer have interest in themselves, but they are now interested in things that pertaining to the kingdom. Either those who live in his house or those who live afar. I know who I was before I came on the platform. I know what I've attained, and I know what I'm going to become, because I can predict the future. Also, I will also say that there's no accident in meeting DSA. For instance, somebody who has met DSA earlier before I came on this platform, had told me before about him. And I've said that that man he has a lot of good teachings. But he never take time to come and listen to them. He never take time to download any of them. He will just tell me that I stumbled on one of his teachings today. That my head, he can't. But I will say, okay, how many of the message have you listened to? Say, when I have time, I don't have time now. So there's no, it's an intention. It's just intentional that, okay, this man is of different face. Do you want to be a great pastor? He has that face. You want to know how to transform nations? You want to be a politician? You want to transform nations through politics? He has that face. You want to do this or that? So when you come, you now look for the one that you want, and you are intentional about it. You are just focusing. So there's no accident in anyone who come across the blessings from this platform. It's just all about. I thank you again, Dr. Victor, and I am waiting to welcome you to Nigeria. We are going to throw party for you. Take care around. If you don't know some places, you take care around, so that you can reconnect and know the terrain again. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so very much. Good news, Israel. Good news, Balogun. Thank you so much. They are waiting for you. Thank God you have somebody expecting you to arrive in Nigeria.
Yeah, and the good thing with him is I see his works, and I think I was just going to wait to settle down a bit, and I was going to reach out to him. Yeah, I see the works he does, and I think there are a few things we could do together.
Yeah, it's just like you two. You can see that it's purposeful.
Yeah. And
it's not easy, consistent. And it's not easy for people who are in Nigeria like that.
Yes. And to yet be that consistent, and for me that's the key. To be consistent when
it takes a lot of discipline.
Especially when the terrain is not easy and things are not.
I think we have a caller. Hello.
Good afternoon, Pastor DSA.
Yes, sir. Is that Alfred?
Yes.
Yes, how are you, sir?
Good, good. I've been missing in action.
Well, welcome back.
No, I've not gone nowhere. I'm listening, but it's just usually the place where I work, my network is so poor that the
Yeah, it's
call
not
will
so
just be
great.
worthless.
It's not so great right now too. Make sure you speak
Yeah.
closer to the device and louder.
Okay.
Good now, yeah.
Well, well, first of all, congratulations, my brother, Pastor Dr. BAMISAYE. I tried to say your last name,
Thank you, sir.
but yeah, a great congratulations for you finishing your studies and it come line hand in hand with you also finishing at this platform. I want to first of all thank you DSA for developing another disciple. I truly, really see a whole lot of investment that you made in his life by yes,
A great
him
disciple.
demonstrates.
He's a man of himself.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
But yet a disciple who has learned.
That is so true. I was writing a comment at the comment section. I said he's a great and articulate mind. I personally, I haven't known him for too long, but following some of the programs, especially prior to the election in Nigeria, and then the post-election and all the the election aftermath. I've been so impressed by his research, his knowledge, his in-depth in Nigerian politics. And he reminds me a whole lot when I was in college, some medical students that were interested in politics, and they really discuss it a lot, but they never pursue it, which really, first of all, Brother Victor, you remind me of a lot of Nigerians, a lot of people, Africans, that really went into some profession and just limited themselves into it. They thought, okay, if they've gone into medical, they have nothing to do with politics. But you notice that they were really talking about it and everything. But they never went into that route. But you coming to me listening to you, I saw that you're a person who learned through DSA that you should expand, just enlarge. So it's a great job that you have done, and I'm so proud of you for the fact that you are taking that step. I've heard a whole lot of your accomplishments, but I'm so proud that as a young man, you're desiring to go back and start making impact, And for me, it just tells me that DSA is about to leave. I know everybody will be thinking
it's a sign.
It's a sign. This is a clear sign that DSA is out of that place. So
it comes soonest.
Yes, and I know it's painful, but I want DSA to go because his heart is over there in Nigeria. His heart is into this project that God has led him to do. So, Dr. Victor, congratulations. We know that we're just all ears to hear the things that God is going to use you do. And as like DSA has taught us, it's not depending on God always, it's depending on us. So you know the truth, you know how to apply it. So good job, my brother. We admire you and we'll follow your step also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Alfred. And thank you for calling to encourage our brother today.
You're welcome, sir.
Blessings.
Blessings also.
Okay, so will you say as you leave Ukraine that indeed you know who is leaving Ukraine?
Yes, I do. I know who is leaving Ukraine, and I know the purpose that Ukraine has served, and that Ukraine serves usually for most of the foreigners who come into it and they may not really understand it. Because
I think we have a caller. Hello?
Hello, DSA.
Yes, sir. Is that Peter?
No, this is Tuka.
Tuka,
Mr.
Pastor Tuka, Mr. Tuka, please speak closer to your device.
Okay, thank you so much, DSA, for your great work.
Thank you, sir.
I'm getting this news and this program with mixed feelings.
Wow.
Somewhat wondering why, and somewhat happy that the news has come, because we must always move on. So, Dr. Victor BAMISAYE, I want to congratulate you for your achievements. And I want to say to you that you are a good person. You are a friend indeed.
Thank you, sir.
You are a friend indeed. You are very humble. I met you, observed you, and I've taken time to invite you on my platform to share the word, and you didn't give me no objection, no reason, why you can't do it. No matter how busy you were, you found time. And you come to my platform, and you share the word, share your mind. You were an encouragement, to my program. So I will be missing you partly, but my heart goes for you. I'm happy for you because I can see that you are a leader of our time. You are a leader that our world is, looking forward to. And I want to thank DSA for the influence, that he has over you and also over all of us. DSA always say that nobody, will meet him and truly meet him, truly, commit to his teachings and will remain the same. And you are one of the fruit. You are the proof to that effect. That if people will truly listen to the teachings of DSA, and people will truly commit to heart, they can always be a better person. So, I'm hopeful that Nigeria is rejoicing because you are coming. And I believe that God, has a land for you to possess. And that you are going to possess your land, because God has, prepared you. Just as God prepared DSA, so you too, you have been prepared, and I believe that you are going, back home to influence many for the kingdom of God. So I just call in to appreciate you and to let you know that you are a good friend, and I pray that this friend will continue, even as you are back home in Nigeria, let me tell you right away, I will be hunting you, I will come after you, I hope you will pick my calls.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, thank you so much. Thank you, DSA, for everything you have done for us. And I pray that the Lord will perfect that which He has begun in our lives.
Thank you, Brad Tuka. Thank you so very much. Thank you for calling in today. I was continuing. You are saying something.
Yes, sir. So I, of course, know who is leading, and that's a guy who is driven, a guy with a purpose, a guy who is undefeatable. I cannot be put down. I cannot be stopped. I am irresistible. I am inevitable. And when I say all of those, I do not say that to be pompous, but I'm saying who I have met, who I have grown to become. And I cannot be stopped. I cannot possibly be defeated. I know I will face so many defeats, but I know I cannot be defeated. So what does that mean? And this is a guy who has grown to build resilience. This is a guy who understands who he is and is not moved by the emotions of many. This is a guy who understands and looks for the understanding of a subject, take a stance, and it doesn't waver. So for me, what does that mean? It means this is a guy who has the recipe for success. Well, and if he will not deviate from the path, his story is.
I will continue that. I will continue that discussion with you. I think we have a caller.
Hello,
right?
sir.
Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Who is calling, please?
This is on the line, sir.
Udo, how are you, sir?
Udo.
From Malaysia?
Valencia, sir.
Malaysia?
Valencia.
Valencia.
Yes, sir.
Yo,
Spain.
wow. In Spain, yes.
Yes, yeah. Let me first congratulate Victor.
Thank you, sir.
And many thanks to you, DSA, for raising such a general. Yes, the next phase is for him to face the battlefield where Shylocks merchandising the gospel have populated. And I'm very certain he is going to distort so many of those lies.
Speak louder, sir.
I say those lies that have been in the system for years, Victor is in position to distort them by the time he gets them.
And the lies.
Yes.
Amen.
You know, when I said, you said 10 years that we are going to see a new Nigeria, but seeing generals like Victor, I believe 5 years is even enough.
Amen.
I've said it before. I watch your program with Victor, Erika. This Erika from Cameroon.
Yes.
Yes, few weeks back when he visited Ukraine.
Yes,
I watched
sir.
your program with him, and I remember the first time I did to your platform, it was you and him, a program you had with him when he wanted to pay you tithes.
Yes.
Yes, you said no. Are there no orphans? Are there nothing you can do with them?
Yes. Hello?
Hello?
We are losing you. Say that again, please.
I said, when I saw this Ukraine, can you hear me?
No, we lost you a bit. Can you say that again?
Okay. I said I watch your program with Erika.
Okay,
when
we
you
hear
visited
now.
Ukraine.
Yes, it's good.
Yes, I watch your program with Erika when you visited Ukraine, showcasing what he has been achieved.
Yes.
In Cameroon.
Yes, sir.
I now said, DSA 2 years in Nigeria is going to be a different country because I know there are thousands of millions of Erika locked up in Redeem, locked up in
Winners Chapel.
Millions of Ukraine of Erika locked up in Christ Embassy, in Mountain of Fire. By the time they get the message you are preaching and get loose from these people, Nigeria is going to be a Dorado.
Amen.
I'm so certain about that.
Amen.
I'm so certain about that. And good thing we have Victor who is going to be on ground.
Yes.
Before you arrive. And
Yeah.
I said it that God is interested in the affairs of Nigeria, and that's the reason why He has kept you all these years and far away, so that nobody will even pollute you with this merchandising gospel going up in Nigeria.
Yes.
You are a blessing to humanity, and posterity will always be kind to you, sir.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uda.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And so that is a very, very good call from Valencia right there. But what your answer to that question, who is leaving Ukraine, shows you that you have enough faith in yourself also, not just in faith in God.
What would I be without faith in myself? I would be a guy.
No,
who is
because a lot of
responsible.
people are fighting that.
No. Those are irresponsible people. Because God created the earth and asked me to dominate. So when I now do not have faith,
You don't know the kind of fight that's going on in Facebook.
No. Like I told you, DSA, there are some people who are just mischievous. So there are certain people, DSA, who will choose the wrong path because they do not like the guy who chose the right one. So for me, they are non-entities. Their opinions do not matter. Like I said, a lizard is saying that an alligator is wrong with the way it wants to swim. Let the lizard enter water now.
I think we have a call. Hello?
Hello, DSA.
Yes, that's a familiar voice, though.
It's Tracy.
Tracy, I thought as much. I was just about to call your name.
Yes. Good evening, DSA and Victor.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening. How are you, Victor?
Your voice is going down. Your voice started loud before.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
You okay?
Okay, yes, DSA and Victor, good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to say congratulations to Victor. Well done.
Thank you.
We have watched you evolve, and we have enjoyed watching you. I just want to say thank you, DSA, for, should I say, tutoring Victor. Victor, we have watched you evolve, and we've really enjoyed, watching you. It's been like a school, watching you, develop under DSA. And I think for me, what I've really enjoyed, DSA, is you allowing Victor to develop under you. We've enjoyed the banter, and I think it's just like a father-son relationship.
Yeah.
Not a normal, father in the Lord kind of thing, which I've seen, yes. It's not like, it's like, when when the disciples sat at Jesus' feet, we've seen it live. You can imagine, like, the disciples sitting at Jesus' feet, learning, well, not at his feet in that way, but you could imagine that relationship, that Jesus had with his disciples. When Jesus said that, the disciples were like his brothers.
Yes.
But at the same time, his friends. They were his friends.
That's all right.
Yes, and we could see that play out, between you, DSA, and Victor, and Anu. That relationship, we could see that I could actually feel that relationship there.
Wow.
So DSA, thank you. Yes, we could see that there. DSA, you allowed them to be themselves. You're patient with them. You laugh with them, but at the same time, you teach them.
Very important.
You taught Victor, yes. And Victor, you, on the other hand, you have learned, and as Innocent has said earlier, we've watched you develop. You are not the same Victor that we saw initially. You going, I can say, as you are going back to Nigeria, DSA, you are already stepping in Nigeria.
Amen.
Still being, yes. DSA will already have stepped in Nigeria, although he will still be in Ukraine. DSA will be in Nigeria. Look at the shirt Victor is even wearing.
Call of
Yes. Do we have to say anything else? Nothing else. Nothing else has to be said. Even a laugh is becoming a DSA laugh. But on a more serious note, exactly.
There are so many of his facial expressions. I used to make jest of him. So
yes.
I made jest of him enough to his face.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden, before I knew, the mannerisms were just a part of me,
Exactly.
So I'll see this, I say, I didn't know when I started doing that too.
Exactly. So I mean, it's a beautiful thing to see. It's the relationship is just beautiful to see. We love it. I love it personally.
Thank you.
Yes, So DSA, thank you so much for allowing Victor. Yes. Thank you so much, DSA, for allowing Victor to be Victor.
To be himself.
Yes, to be himself, yes.
Thank
you. Thank you so much, Victor, for learning. Because some people will walk away and say, what kind of man is this? But you two have a beautiful relationship. And I know, Victor, that I know you are going to Nigeria, but knowing you won't be able to stay away. You'll be phoning in. So I know we'll still see you. Thank you very much, two of you. I love both of you. God bless you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Tracy. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Yeah, about the faith in self.
Yeah, faith in self. Yes. So because the whole essence is that as I behold as in a glass the glory of God, I am transformed into the same image I see, even by the Spirit of God. So what does it mean? The more of God I know, the more of God I become. What then happens if I'm not sure of that more of God? Wait, just say, let me get done. Okay. Of that more of God, people stop there. Mm-hmm. But that I have become the most important.
It's not just of.
Or no, not just of that more of God, but of that more of God that I have become. Because the growth of me that we are talking about is that I have grown more into the personality.
So the essence of knowing him is to become.
Is to become. And so by the time we're talking about faith in myself, I'm talking about the faith in the much of God that I have become, the much of Creator that I have become.
I think we have to let the caller talk. Hello?
Hello, DSA. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mike. You need your voice to be louder or for you to speak it.
Good afternoon. This is Victoria from the US.
Okay, it's been a while.
I know I've been busy, but first of all, I would like to congratulate Dr. Victor.
Yes.
Thank you.
I wish you the best of luck. Thank you for being a good sheep.
Thank you.
John 10:27 said, my sheep listen to my voice.
Yes.
I know them. They follow me.
Yes.
When you listen to the shepherd, he will make you fishers of men.
Yeah.
Yes.
The goat will never listen. Dr. Sunday, the people that listen to you, we have Dr. Clement, Pastor Dr. Clement. We have Pastor Dr. Arno. We have Pastor Dr. BAMISAYE. These are sheep. These are the people that listen. These are the people that came with the heart to learn. They were not, or they are not parasites. You know, when parasites comes, they chop, and when they can't eat anymore, then they run away. But when you see, it's like DSA, you have become the king's maker. You produce one of your kinds for the people that listen to you. We are very proud of you. We love you. I know Mayowa, by the time she's back online, she's going to be another doctor, because I think she's getting herself prepared for something great and better. So we are very proud of you. Dr. Victor, we wish you the best of luck in your new endeavors. We are praying for you. We say, go and possess your possessions. The whole of Nigeria is waiting for you. We are not going to miss you too much, because you're going to probably have some phone-ins and some probably live broadcasts. But we know by the time DSA comes to Nigeria, it's going to come to a better Nigeria. So DSA, keep doing what you are doing. Let the goats keep backing, keep doing what they're doing. They are goats. They can never learn. They hop from geo to geo instead of them to sit down like Dr. Arno, Dr. Victor, and learn from the master's table. They are like matter running around, trying to feed, running around. They should be like Mary that sat, rested ahead on the lap of Jesus to learn wisdom, knowledge, get understanding. Now, Dr. Victor is well equipped to face any challenge. Yes, challenges will come, but he said he will not fail. That is power in self. That is knowing who you are, what you carry. I am very proud of you. DSA, keep shining, keep going. Dr. Victor, kudos to you.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you, Sister Victoria. Thank you so very much. Nice to hear that from you. Victor, you've not finished your thought.
Yes, sir. So we're talking about knowledge in self. So it's the ability to know how much of the nature of God I have grown into. So when I say the knowledge in self,
believe in self,
it has not excluded God, because God himself has always been the constant. I am the variable. So it's not so much of how much I believe in who is constant. It is how much I believe in the me who is variable. Because what does that mean? It means that tomorrow I could reduce. And we've seen people do that, fall from where they were the day before. So if I'm so sure of what and where I am now, it means my variable is getting towards a constant. And that's the journey.
Hello?
Hello, DSA. Good evening.
that is Mrs. Upoba.
Good evening, ma. You know everybody's voice.
When I saw the flyer today, I said, wow, Dr. Victor is good. He's leaving. First of all, a big congratulations to you.
Thank you.
On your graduation. I'm really so pleased for you and for Dr. Anu, and I really thank God for your lives. Yeah, life is such that change will come. So this is another phase, and I'm really happy for how far God has brought you. I kind of thinking. I think the first thing that drew my attention to Victor. Victor, you look almost exactly like my late brother. I have a younger brother that is just like you. You see, we know we are black. We are black. You are black like us.
We are black but not burnt.
Not burnt, no. So I have a brother that just looks like you, really dark. We used to call him, they call him Elliot Black. Black. That was one thing. That was the first connection I had. When I saw you, because it was like, oh, this is just like my younger brother. And then your intelligence, oh my God, I'm like, wow, that's really, the depth of knowledge that you bring out when you speak, was really, very inspiring. And just like what everybody else has said, we have noticed the transformation. I think the first time I saw you was in the HMT when you guys came as students, and I knew how Victor was, and I knew that. And I think Tracy said a lot of things about DSA, I think in the last birthday, there's a song I wrote which my husband sang, and I said, how do you stand with greatness and still shine? DSA, you are just, you are really a father. To think that this Dr. Victor and all of these people can come around you and they can still be themselves. It's not everybody that does that. A lot of people want to keep you under. They want to make you subservient. But you are able to raise people and make them personalities and make them stand in their own right. And just like what Tracy said, it is beautiful to see that you are playing the role of a father and yet you are still a friend. Not many people have that, and for that I always I call Victor. I always say they are so blessed to have this opportunity, and they have not misused it. They have used it to their advantage, and I'm really grateful to God, and I thank you, Pastor Sunday, for availing yourself, for making yourself accessible, because when I look at Dr. Victor, I look at Anu, I begin to have hope that if every young Nigerian person have a hold of your message, they listen, and in the way, because in just 2 years, a lot of people on the platform, is evident, the transformation, the change that we have seen, not only in their lives, also even in our own lives. And if we can have more people like this, then we have hope that Nigeria will never remain the same. I'm just I feel a bit emotional that, but I think what I've realized also that Victor is always going to be a part of us, so he's not leaving us. Whatever, we're always going to see him.
Yep. Farewell from the studio.
Yes, yeah, at least he's just from the studio. I want to thank you for you brought a lot to us on the platform. I want to thank you for also making yourself available, for also bringing yourself to, because I know that the challenge for a lot of people that feel that they know a lot is being able to humble themselves to learn, and you have been able to do that, and it has made you even better. And I just thank God for your life, and I'm wishing you all the best, and I know that there are more exploits, more impact is coming, and God will continue to, grace you. God will continue to give you wisdom, and God will continue to give you vision, even beyond your widest dream. I just want to congratulate you once again, and DSA, I thank you. You are a father to all of us. And you continue to show that role, and it's just such a privilege, to really know you, and also to see your impact in the life of others. Thank you so much.
Mrs. Ufoma, you are a pillar here, and I want to thank you for who you are and for such a support that you have been giving to us. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I love you all.
Thank you. God bless.
She's been there since the days of Saveto and Pastor Anu, and Pastor Saveto and Anu Life. So about 2016, 17 there.
One question to you.
Yes, sir.
You said you told your mom that you were 5 years ahead of your
mates.
That was when you were in Ukraine.
Yeah, medical in Simferopol,
Simferopol.
2013. Yeah.
So why is it that, was that the point when you noticed that? I thought you could have noticed that when you were still in Nigeria.
Yes, I could have noticed that, but I did not to this extent because I was not intent about self-development when I was in Nigeria.
Okay.
I just knew I was different because of the, how do I put this? Okay, for instance, let's go back to my growing up. Everybody was watching television.
I think I'm going to ask you to hold it for a while. Okay. Hello, you have too many callers today. Hello.
Hello, DSA. Hello, DSA. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Who is calling from where?
Yeah, this is Martins from Lagos.
Brother Martins?
Yes, from Lagos.
Yes, sir.
Bro, Victor, how you doing now?
Very well, sir. How are you doing?
Congratulations. So
thank you.
God you're now coming back to the field.
Well,
yes,
on the home front.
So, DSA, I don't think he's a goodbye. Rather, he's now coming back to the field, and you too, very soon you join us in the field.
Yes, yes.
There is no goodbye anything. This is just
welcome.
He's welcome.
Yes. So as brother Israel said, that we'll be waiting for you. I beg, come, make we know how we begin further things to better the country and to better humanity. So to me, this is not a goodbye. This is a welcome.
Wow.
You know, it's a goodbye from Ukraine and it's a welcome here. So the welcome is more important than the goodbye.
That's true. That is so true.
Thank you.
So DSA, you are next. So dust your passport, dust everything. So we know that the team is getting complete. But in a serious note, Victor, you've done well. You've grown to be a man that almost everybody is proud of, and to see you grown, you know, and not just you, you know, and it's not just you now. We on the other side too, we've learned and we've made adjustments to becoming a better part of us. And I think it's something that I really want to congratulate everybody. And I think also it is something that everybody should keep on going through these materials, keep on listening and keep on practicing what you've learned, because it is a life transforming experience and it's a life transforming journey. We've not started yet. DSA is coming, Victor is already here, and before you know it, people are coming back home to put things on ground and make sure we go from a better, you know, country to becoming even one of the best, you know, in Africa. Congratulations once again, my brother, and I'll always look out to see you when you come back to Nigeria.
Thank you so
much. Thank you, Bro Martins. Blessings.
Yeah, blessings.
You didn't finish your Victor. You forgot what you were saying.
Yeah, I think I was so conceptual. I lost the train of thought.
You can't forget it, you know.
Your question.
Your mom.
Okay, going back to my upbringing, my mom was always reading the Bible.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad was always newspaper.
Okay.
So, and that was with news. He was a politician. What that meant was when people were watching films, all of my childhood, I can't comfortably boast that I've watched 30 movies. In fact, 20 I can't boast. So I was really studying world politics. I was seeing the trends I was so current as a child. So those kind of information had prepared me for a regular world. So in fact, when I was talking among my mates, they used to think, many of them thought I was a liar. So what that meant was that I knew I was different in that sense.
You don't forget next time. I think we have another caller now. Hello.
Hello, Dr. DSA.
Yes, sir.
This is Solomon Raj calling from Boston.
Yes, Brother Solomon.
I want to first of all congratulate Dr. Victor.
Yeah.
For his great achievements. Dr. Victor, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. DSA, I was surprised that you want to allow Victor to lead. That.
Not be me. I would have allowed him, but he has his vision and passion.
Oh no, I understand. I was expecting that you will have given him a kind of vision. Thus said the Lord.
Nigerian pastor.
It's not your calling, you know.
I would then become a GO.
Yeah, you just want a GO. Because, you know, all these pastors, they won't allow any important figure like this, an intellectual like this, to live.
Wow.
They will look for one vision, one fear to impose on him for him to remain.
Wow.
But thank God for who you are, Pastor.
Okay.
Just like what Brother Israel was saying. Israel was saying that for Victor to come to Nigeria, going to Nigeria, is an added advantage to us.
Yes.
In fact, to me, I see it as a blessing. Because what it means is this. We have more DSA on the ground right now.
Yes.
And that is strong enough. So I also want to just thank Brother Victor, because the very first day I saw him on the platform, I was trying to, like, you know, we always judge, we want to match him, say, his face looked so young, and I was misjudging him with his facial look and what he was carrying, the content in him. He looks so young, you know. I was like, this guy, what's he going to tell us now? But when I started listening to him, I was like, wow, oh my God, I love his vocabularies. Those are one thing that makes me so excited about Victor when he's on stage. You will see him using strong vocab. I'll say, Victor, you don't start again. You know, so in terms of politics, oh God, it's an eye-opener to me, because he made me to, you know, I was like, politics is so interesting. You know, he made it so interesting. We really want to listen to him. What was it? And I like the way sometimes he argues with you. He said, no, DSA, you know, this is how it's going to be. He stands on his ground. And it's not like saying, no, it's DSA, I didn't need to, no, I don't have to argue to that extent, you know. So I'm so excited that he's going back. And that also gives me the confidence. And we are hoping that Anu himself, Mayowa herself, by the time these three people on ground, hey! Oh,
revolution for Nigeria.
That is, DSA, you'll be the last person to come. By the time all of us get on ground, yes, then you will just come and it goes. So I want to say thank you, DSA, for what you've done, the transformation we have seen. Not even in their own lives, those are with you, but even in our own lives. We have seen it, it's so glaring. You know, Victor was saying something about, you know, those of us in diaspora. We've been in diaspora for years, but nobody have this thought of saying, oh, my own fellow brother are suffering, let's give them a helping hand. It is during your teaching, when you came up on platform, that most of the people in diaspora began to extend their love to the poor back home. You know, they were like sponsoring them, a lot of programs coming up. They said, this is what you have done.
Wow.
And we want to thank you for that.
Amazing.
Finally, I just want to round up with a quotation here in Proverbs 3:18. It said, happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. Victor is loaded with wisdom and understanding. Victor, I want to wish you the very best as you land in Nigeria, and we'll be seeing more of you. In fact, your work will really announce you. Your work will tell us that, yes, what you learned from DSA is something we will feel. We are going to feel it. Everyone will feel it. That, yes, DSA has produced himself in you. God bless you. And I wish you long life and prosperity.
You are speaking like Solomon. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you.
I hope this time you didn't forget
No,
your thought.
not.
Because my question was, why is in Ukraine you now had to come to that acknowledgement that you are different, you are 5 years ahead of yours?
So for me then it was just the instinctive of residual study or let me say passive study over time that differentiated me in terms of studying materials that were above what we would call my age level. I was probably 10, 11 when I started following my dad to political rallies. So you could understand the experience. You sit down with people who are governorship candidates.
I think we have a caller.
Another caller.
Hello?
Yeah, hello DSA.
Yes, sir.
My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Swansea in Wales.
Oh, wow, Swansea in Wales. Okay.
Yeah. I just want to congratulate Mr. Victor and you yourself for the great job you have done. Thank you for reproducing yourself in Victor.
Okay.
And I also thank Victor for the humble humility he has put in place to
learn,
to have learned and achieved what he has achieved today. So God bless you, and I'm looking forward in seeing you very soon, and then hopefully everything goes well. So I congratulate you so much for what you have done for the life of Victor. And Victor himself, most young men, they come to the to Europe to study medicine, and they decide to stay, but he's going back to start to do very good work in Nigeria. So I really congratulate him for what he's doing and for his age. Kudos to him, and thank you so much, DSA, for the great job you have done. Thank you for you are a person everybody could follow and achieve something. God bless you, sir.
Word of wisdom, sir. Thank you, Brian Manuel. Blessings.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Yeah, so
you knew you were different in Nigeria, but
yes.
you couldn't define it.
Yes. So it was not more like I could not give it a measure of
compare.
So the difference between then and now is the conscious level. So then it was just subconscious. I knew from my conversations, I knew it was different from what the other guys were talking about. I knew, okay, for instance, in my secondary school, we have large hall and one small room. Every of my mates were living in the large room. I could not live with them. I had to live alone in a small room, almost in an isolated manner, because we could not converse the same way.
On the same level.
Yeah, on the same level. So I'd rather stay with juniors then and talk to them.
Science.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir, teacher.
Hello, DSA, good evening.
Yes, who is... it's like you are in a place where there is a lot of noise.
Yeah, I've already walked away from there. I'm at work.
That's Peter.
Peter from Belgium, yes, DSA.
The noise is too much in the people's ears.
Oh my God, I don't know what to do now. But you are not hearing me at all.
A little bit.
Okay. I think I have gone far away from where the production is.
Yeah, just do it sharp and fast, because the noise is a lot.
So first of all, just congratulate Dr. Victor BAMISAYE.
Thank you.
For his good work and his patience and his intelligence and what I myself have learned from his presentation, from his person. I'm so happy that he's going to Nigeria. I will kind of miss him on the Wednesday program or so, but going to Nigeria is a plus for us, for DSA team, because that is a strong disciple of DSA. I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy that he decided to go back to Nigeria. With some people we don't want to go, but I'm so happy for that. And again, I just want to say, DSA, you have been an influence and instrumental to every one of us, especially me, myself. Your messages, your books, your personality, your person have transformed my life. I'm so confident, I'm so encouraged, I'm so hopeful, I'm so eloquent, because before I know you, I don't think I speak like this. I might speak English, but not so confident, because I have soaked myself with your messages, with your books. Right now, I can face the camera and do a program for 30 minutes, for 40 minutes. I mean, and people are calling me and telling me congratulations. It is for your teaching. The people who don't want to listen to you or who don't want to learn, I don't know what is wrong with them, but I guess maybe somehow, someday, it will not be too late for them, because the messages are there. It's free. So once again, I just want to thank you for bringing us yourself out, for reproducing, giving us knowledge and understanding and power and confidence, what I have not known since, in fact, since I was born, I started knowing things. Man, the confidence I have now, I'm so happy. You know, your words and your messages have expanded my knowledge, the way I think. You know, to the extent that when I'm talking to people, even with your messages, teaching and everything, calling people in Africa, in Nigeria, everybody I'm talking to, people think I'm different. You know, I'm so very, very happy because people who start listening to you and they deviate, I don't know, maybe it's part of the prayer. They went for the Geo went to Martin to pray that catch them because they were not sincere. They were not sincere with I don't know if you are hearing me.
Very well.
Yeah, they were not truthful because they were not connected to your message. Because anybody that connects to your message and listening carefully and love himself, first of all, love himself and love the truth. You know, there's nothing, because I'm not trying to give you praises, but there's no way I cannot give that praises, because for myself, I'm being a beneficiary, and that to discover who I am through your message. That I'm the first resources that God have created. I'm the first. I don't need to give excuses anymore. I have through your message, I have able to know the lies, and the lies of these GOs, all these churches have telling us for all these years, and I have confidence studying more hard, reading the Bible, study the book of Genesis, the book of John, the book of Luke, the book of Philip. You know, so DSA, you are instrumental, you are a reformer, you are a teacher, you are a savior sent from God to us. Anybody can think it otherwise, I don't care. But one thing I know, Nigeria is going to change through you, because God have given you that assignment. Dr. BAMISAYE is going to Nigeria. Many other people are coming, like minds, that have the spirit of God in their mind, that carry the truth and the light of God. Nigeria is going to transform, because you have already shown us the light. You have already pointed the light. You have already shown us the direction where we should go. You know, when I see BAMISAYE talking about politics, he should not count himself out. Maybe sooner or later I will be the governor of Ekiti State, because it's not going to be, we have to wear the light of the world, so we have to take position. We have to change the status quo. We have to change the situation. So he has the character, he has the understanding, he has the love for the people. So it's just the beginning. I'm happy that he's going to Nigeria, and I'm going for this summer. I'm going to find a way to get his contact and call him. If I can see him just 1 or 2 times, I will be very happy. Thank you, DSA, for the good work. I'm so happy. DSA, you are a godsend. Thank you. Good night.
Wow, DSA. Wow. Mr. Peter, I knew you were going to call. Thank you so much for fulfilling that prophecy.
I heard when you called my name.
Yes.
You sound like my voice.
Yes.
I was working. I just told my colleagues, please, I'm waiting for this call. Please, I want to take part of this wonderful program today, because BAMISAYE is a lovely person. He's a lovely guy. He's a lovely man. He's too intelligent. With Dr. Anu and what's his name? Our lady sister Mayowa. They are too intelligent. Even myself, that have not seen you there, say you have not laid hands on my head. Oh my God! My wife testified. That alone is something. People that I speak with. I went to Germany a couple of weeks ago. I was in a program. I told this pastor, all those caricature. I would not want to, but when I got there, it was still the same. I went to stay in a hotel. I told him the next day he called me. I said, Pastor, look, we need to change. If you see our people, especially our girls from Benin, they are suffering. All of them are pregnant, young girls. But the pastor is doing his best. But the pastor that he brought from South Africa was a naughty prophet. I challenged, we were like 3 of us there, we challenged everything that he was doing. We told the pastor that invited, don't bring this man to your church, because what you are doing your best to your capacity, helping these people, but this man is coming to tell them that he can show them how to make money by sowing seed. I said, no, that is wrong. You know, but it's thanks to your message, thanks to the confidence and the what I know that nobody can change from me, nobody can take it away from me. It's still there because I will want to learn more, I want to know more. Thank you, DSA. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Beautiful.
Yeah. So back to the point they say. So for me, it was just subconscious that I knew that, but it was when I started intentionally working on myself. You know, now you're working, so self-education. So there's an expected product because you are intentionally working on yourself now. So that was when I now started to see the real difference that, okay, this is not about childhood now. We are young adults now. So you expect everybody to at least have reached some certain level of
Hello.
maturity.
Hello. Good evening, DSA and Dr. Victor.
Good evening, sir. Is that Pastor Ernest?
Yes, from Germany.
Yeah.
How are you doing, sir?
This one you already know everybody.
Yeah. Great. Good to be here this evening. Just to say a big thank you. First of all, to thank God for what He has done in your life, Dr. Victor.
Thank you, sir.
How far God has brought you here. So I'm so grateful to God. And I think I've met you personally 2 times in Ukraine. And I saw a young, humble, intelligent, lovely, and focused man. And I want to say congratulations for your ability to stay and to stay to the truth. And now that you're going back, I want to say that you should go, with the knowledge you've gotten from the DSA, and stay focused. Continue to do what you've been doing. You've been a great blessing in this platform. You've impacted a lot of lives, with your programs, and they've been a great blessing. So I pray that the Lord would continue to strengthen you as you're going back. The Lord will continue to empower you, to use you, that you will continue in the vision that you've discovered as you've been in this platform and from all you've learned from DSA.
Amen.
And I also want to thank DSA for when you look at those big GOs, I don't think with your age, Dr. Victor, you would have been able to, you would have been accepted. Yeah. It is very clear because, it takes a man with a vision. It takes a man with humility. It takes a man who understands life to accept everyone, irrespective of their age, and their position. So I thank you, DSA, for accepting Victor and Dr. Anu, because some pastors could have looked for people who are well established, who are rich, who have occupied some big position somewhere to be doing programs with him. But you accepted these young guys and you've impacted their lives. And at the end, you did not hold them back. Some pastors could have given him a big title now, and like one of the big GOs said recently, that you cannot have your own vision. Your own vision must be the vision of this ministry. And I thank God for your life, DSA, that you allow everyone to have their own vision. And you're not giving Victor title. You didn't look for a wife for him. You didn't look for a way to tie him down. But everyone is free to fly. And this is what I really recommend to you. After, some, it wouldn't be easy. They would look for every way possible to keep Victor, but you are releasing him. And I say thank you so much for this understanding. And,
wow.
God, will the Lord continue to bless you, continue to strengthen you. You're doing a great job. It's a big lesson to everyone listening and to every pastor that will be listening, that ministry is not about keeping people, it's about releasing them to go fulfill their purpose. Because God created everyone with a vision. And I thank God that Victor is going back and to fulfill his vision, his purpose in life. I know it's going to be great. It might be It might not be easy at first, but be rest assured that vision never dies. And a man who stands for truth will always be an overcomer. And I encourage you to, I'm just talking, publicly. I will still call you personally and talk with you.
Thank you, sir.
In a nutshell, just to say thank you for your patience, for your understanding, for your humility, for your passion to stand by DSA all this while and to do what you've been doing. You've done a lot of programs. I know, I've been there 2 times and I've seen how you guys are working there. It's not easy. I don't think I'll be able to
DSA's house is a crucible.
Yeah. I don't think I will be able to cook because it's not an easy thing to work with this. You must be extra ready and extra. You must have extra energy, and you have, despite the fact that you were studying, and but you were still able to meet up with all the responsibilities that were assigned to you. So thank you so much. We have no silver nor gold to give to you, but we are praying for you. We are solidly behind you. We are still with you. We are still standing with you. We'll still be communicating while you're in Nigeria. So thank you so much, and God bless you. God bless DSA, and God bless every member of DSA family worldwide in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Pastor Ernest. Well,
thank you, sir.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. So, you are continuing your thoughts.
Yeah, so it was the point of, I think what demarcated that was the point of self-education when I intentionally started that, to start working on myself first as a person. I wanted to be a good person, a good man, so to say. Then I realized, okay, a good man, preacher, medical doctor, but first for me, then the most important was to be a good person. So I started working on that me. So that's when I consciously started seeing the difference between those who were around me. So it was like you said, I woke up and I realized people were asleep.
Still sleeping, yeah.
Yeah, so that was what was different then. So, and I could see the way I was reasoning was just, there was no way, it was nothing less than 5 years ahead of them.
Ahead of all of them.
Yeah.
I think we have a caller, right? No? So you woke up and you looked around.
Everybody was just sleeping. I remember then there was this guy in final year who called me. I said, I want to be your friend. And I was just a first year student. So he had seen something and he was going.
And that's 5 years gap between you.
It was
Hello?
going to outside of.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Pastor Sunday and Dr. Victor.
Good evening, sir.
No, I just want to say thank you so much for hosting this show tonight.
Okay.
Dr. Victor, you are blessed.
Amen. Thank you.
I've been listening to you for the last 2 years.
Who is calling, please? From where?
It's so wonderful. The encouragement you have going back to Nigeria after studying in Ukraine and going back to Nigeria, it actually blesses me today. You have courage. And I just want to say thank you to everyone doing this show and everybody who's listening in. I just want to say a big thank you.
Who is calling from where?
It's Patrick Christian from the UK.
Tashu?
Patrick Christian.
Patrick Christian.
Patrick Christian. Wow.
Hello, Pastor Sunday.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
How is Nikki?
Oh, she's still in Nigeria, struggling, but she's getting there.
I'm sure when she arrives, both of you will call me soon.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
So that's a word of encouragement to Pastor Abito, Dr. Victor.
Yeah, Pastor Sunday, this gentleman is what's been coming out of his mouth. It moves me. If you look at him, look how wonderful he is. The way he dresses, what comes out of his mouth. He's an encouragement to a lot of young guys. So I just want to say thank you so much for everything.
Thank you for your kind words.
And I pray that I will be able to see him one day in Nigeria.
I look forward to that.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
Thank you, sir, and blessing to everyone.
You too. Bye. A lot of these people coming from Britain have a similar accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost sounding like Ben.
Ben?
Yeah, Ben
Ofori.
Oko.
Oh, Ben Oko, okay. Yeah, Ben Oko. Yeah, when you move to a new environment, you begin to develop
the accent.
Or a mix of theirs and yours, but you cannot keep what you have. Because you have to speak to people in their own accent for them to understand you. So, you know, if you are speaking to an Indian, you start singing.
Like them?
Yeah, you start singing like them.
Hello.
Good evening, DSA. Good evening, Dr. Victor.
Good evening, sir.
This is Okoli Ofodike from Lagos, Nigeria.
Oh, Mr. Okoli.
That is all the way from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to say congratulations to Dr. Victor. You've been a great inspiration
Thank
to me personally, and I believe to all the young people on the platform. So I want to say congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for always inspiring us. And may God bless you and reward you greatly in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I want to also say thank you to DSA for creating out the time to always impact us and teach us and give us the wisdom we need to fulfill our own calling and our own purpose in life. God bless you, DSA.
Thank you, sir.
We really appreciate it. God bless you, sir. Yeah.
Wow.
I think there's a point I must make.
Thank you so much, Okoli Ofodike.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I think there's a point I must make, even though I'll still keep it anonymous, but it's interesting to note that it's in your calling that God has put your provision. I've realized that. And that's not a way to tell these pastors who are stealing that they should keep stealing from the church, but no. You know, when I started 30 before 30, the money I started with was the money my sister sent to me. If she gets to watch this video, she doesn't know. But she sent me that money to use it to pay part of my tuition. So, but because she sent it in Naira, so I just, my elder sister, I just diverted that money to pay the tuition of the first set of people. And I was working very hard, working really hard to make up, to make extra, both to be able to pay for new kids, to take new kids, and then
take care of yourself.
Take care of myself. But before we take this call, I need to say this, DSA. But it is interesting that it is in the place of doing this, someone called you one day and said, I want to do so and so. And he said, call BAMISAYE Victor. And the person reached out to me. Do you know that I am the biggest beneficiary of that person? Because that person said to me, after a while knowing my story, so you mean no parent? Even you are paying tuition for
yourself,
for kids who don't have parents and cannot afford. But even you yourself, you belong to that category. You are going to be my project. And from the half part, from about February 2017 till now, the person has been paying for my tuition.
So you're calling?
So all of my tuition for my second year and the later part of my first year was sponsored.
But no, so what about if you have not stopped out into that your calling?
So if I had not gone into that
by faith,
and even by belief that I must serve right now, I might never have had the opportunity to meet this person. Now, you did not give me the money to tuition, and that's one of the things people don't know. That the benefit sometimes you have is in the people and the connection, just the without expecting the relation, without expecting any material from them. All you did was say, Victor does this, Victor can help you with this. And even all the person needed as of that time was really advice on how to go about it. But in getting to know me more, realized my own story and say, you are going to be my own project. So, but my tuition was hidden in paying tuition for others.
For other people.
So since then, I've relaxed to work hard to a point where you are having, I told you now, I was working 18 hours altogether, self-development, pushing myself to the extreme. My blood pressure was 150. And God just prepared that person. And since then, I've just calmed down. I still go to work
your
now,
own obedience.
Through my own obedience. I still go to work now, but the reason why I even go to work is for socialization.
And through your willingness to serve other people.
And my own provision was just right there.
In the place of your service.
In the place of my service. And
so your stewardship to others
yes.
becomes your provision.
Yes. And so I just got that scholarship till I finished
my school.
My school now. And how did I get to meet that person? Yeah, I did not apply to a scholarship board, but because I created one.
For others.
For others.
Less privileged.
Less privileged.
Than yourself.
And the funny thing is that the money for my own, people may not know, it's too expensive and I can sponsor nothing less than maybe 100 kids. But the person said, if I invest in you, I am sure you will invest in so many more other people than I can reach. So it was a massive blessing. And I felt, as much as it may not be the time to mention the name of the person, I think the time will be ripe and I will do that.
There is time for everything.
Yeah, but it's time at least I can share that story, and I think it's important that I say that now.
Even me, I didn't know about this. This is a blessing. This is a blessing.
So what you can do for others is really where your blessing is hidden, really.
Life is about service.
Life is about service. Purely.
Well, on that note, I would like us to finish the program right now, but maybe you still say something to everybody, to your farewell word.
Well, there is no farewell since our lives always cross and our paths always meet. But what we can always say is to show gratitude for how far we've come and the engagement we've had so far. It's been really great. I've learned a lot from you guys who have been watching. You know, your comments every week, your engagement week in, week out. I really always couldn't wait for the next week to engage. And to so many people who used to like me before 2019 election, it was really great. And of course, life is in phases, and this is just the end of a phase, but not the end of life. And I'm really glad that we have encountered each other. And DSA, thank you so much for not just the platform. The platform is very little compared to the figure, the model that you have become, that you are to us, to have become a father. I remember Yurian is right in front of me now. So not just me, but even Yuri can understand, can attest, and I've said that so many times, how your nature as a father covers for him, even though he's not been with one for a long time. So it means that I'm not saying something that is just peculiar to me. The difference is that I understand it, and probably the peculiarity is that I appreciate it. And of course, there are so many things that could be said that time will not permit, but that model, that figure, that covering that you've given has given a lot of us feathers to fly. And I really do appreciate it. I really do. And to the many of you guys and many of my friends, my fathers, my mothers, my sisters, my brothers who are on the show, who've been watching, thank you for your words of encouragement. I know we will meet, and there are many more great things to do in the future. So thank you so much.
So on that great note, we are saying farewell, safe journey, and good bye to BAMISAYE Victor until we catch up with him somewhere very soon.
Like the good French say, à bientôt.
Peace.